Yo. What's up, everybody, man? It's the Ill Minds Podcast, man. You already know the deal, man. If you ain't ill, you ain't real, man. So today's episode is episode 6. All the other episodes that drop, those special episodes for the sports and everything. We're gonna be dropping more about the finals and what's going on with that. But right now, this episode is gonna be talking about the music industry, what's been going on. I'm with my boy IZZY right now. It's my special guest right here. Say what's up.
Yo, what's good?
Yeah, man. Yo, so I've known Izzy for a minute. We used to work together and everything. So I'm glad that he's on right now. We're gonna be talking about a lot, man. It's a lot of shit that's gonna be going on. We're talking about the Future album, Kendrick's album, Jack Harlow's album, especially the reputation he's got behind that right now. Definitely, definitely gonna be talking about the Pusha T album. I think that was a great one. We're gonna talk about hottest versus most talented. We're gonna be talking about a lot of other topics. We're gonna be listing. We got them listed. It's in the description below. So if you want to talk about which topics are there, please chime into the chat and everything, and we're definitely gonna keep it rock and rolling from there, man. Yo, man. So it's been a lot right now going on with the music, man. People coming out with albums and everything. And I remember when we wanted to drop this episode, I was actually hype about the topics that we was gonna actually address. So I want people to understand that when we talk about like hottest versus like most talented, it's basically like people like, okay, if you look at Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, they're hot. No, these are hot artists. But when you look at like Cole, Kendrick, that's talent. They're hot also, but when you look at the value and the collective, material that you gain from it, it's more like it's like insight. It's like something that rejuvenates your mind and it makes you think differently. Like that's what makes it, that's what makes music pop so much. So I want you to go first, and then I'll chime in after. So I want you to tell me the difference, your biggest differences between hottest versus most talented.
Well, in my opinion, a lot of times when it comes to artists that's hot, you have a lot of push by the label. So you got guys like Jack Harlow. We're gonna talk about his album a little bit later.
Yeah.
And Jack Harlow is getting a super push. Every time you turn on your TV, you open up your YouTube, you go on Instagram, you're gonna see Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow's gonna be over there chilling with Drake. He's gonna be over here with Drewski. He's gonna be, shooting a video, or whatever. He's gonna have the same haircut as you, and but when the music comes out, and you're like, is this really what the hype was about? And then you got a guy like Russ, you know what I'm saying? And I compare them because they both kind of, white rappers.
Yeah.
They both got
that's true.
Long, luxurious hair. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little jealous, you feel me?
Yeah.
But when you deal with guys like Russ, who's independent, he doesn't have all that heat behind him. He's got a significant amount of talent. He's in my opinion, one of the most talented artists in the game right now. He writes, he raps, he sings, he produces. He raps up there with the best of the best, right? And but he doesn't have that same look. He doesn't have that same heat behind him.
Yeah.
But then you got artists like you said, Cardi B. She's talented. She could deliver. She performs well. But she took her heat from one album and made a career out of it.
You already
know what I'm saying? And that's a talent in itself. But when we're talking about talent, I'm talking about like musical talent. Guys like Kendrick musically are top tier talent. And he's got the heat that matches with it. But then you have some artists that are super hot and their music it's mid or trash, at best. But they can still make a career out of the heat. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, today, in order for you to have longevity in hip hop, you got to have a little bit of both. You got to be able to make yourself hot. You got to have the talent to back it up. Yeah. Because if I see you in my face every day and you drop that album and that album is mid or that album is trash, the fuck was everybody talking about you?
That's true.
Now that talk of, oh, he's an industry plan, or this guy's got the machine behind him, or what was all the hype about? You gotta deliver if you really want longevity in hip hop, because the heat You got to fan that flame, otherwise it'll go out.
Yeah, nah, that's definitely true. Like my biggest thing with like it is the longevity. I've always differentiate the two when it comes to talented and hottest. A lot. I remember when the mumble rap era was going. Lil Uzi, 21 Savage, Lil Yachty, all of them. They had this structure of like just not really saying anything, but having good beats and having good producers behind you to support that, and having a certain cadence that was catchy. But then when you see longevity hit, and you start to look at these artists, you're like, wow, they really changed. 21 Savage completely started rapping completely differently. Him hanging out with influences like J. Cole, Kendrick, all of them. He said he's gained insight from a lot of these artists. And like, yo, if you want to gain leverage and you want to be able to grab your audience instantly and to keep them there, you got to create different material. If it's the same shit over and over, sooner or later that's not gonna fly. That's why Lil Yachty dropped a lot. He dropped significantly, even though his fan base is strong. When you look at him in the mainstream, he's not really there anymore. He chimes in here and there in little features, but that's what it is. Lil Uzi, on the other hand, he took the mumble rap, and then when he started making like real deal, like catchy music that caters to these type of fans, like let's be honest, a lot of people fuck with Lil Uzi. But if you really look at the people that dress like him, there's a lot of people like that. And he likes to do with that little bit of dark, melodic type of tone that really like grabs a big audience like that. Like I remember like a guy named NF, he talks about his psyche and depression. And there's a lot of people that go through that. And they cater to that music. Yeah. Is it intriguing? Yeah. Will it have replay value? Not really. But that's why I like with Lil Uzi. He does a combination of both. He talks about about his life, how everything is, but then he brings that pop. He brings like that pop mumble rap feature to it, and then he gets guys.
He can make a good song. He makes good songs. He makes good music. But people don't know, like, look, as quiet as it's kept, Uzi can rap.
Yo, dude, I remember before he hit the industry. I was like, yo, who? I was like, this little Uzi dude. It's alright. Yeah. And then
Uzi from Philly. Philly got spitters. He's influenced by that. Yeah. He's also influenced by, rock music and Marilyn Manson and melodic beats and all that shit. So he kind of fuses that together, but there's a talent there.
Yo, for real. He gained longevity from that different type of feel. And then that's when I saw like he started influencing other rappers. Like, let's be honest, like XXX, Tentacion, Playboy Cardi. He started influencing these cats to do other things like that. I forgot the other dude. What was his name? Dex. I think Dex. You was
Famous Dex. Yeah,
Famous Dex. He was kind of he was influenced by that. A little bit. Yeah, Rich the Kid.
And beat Rich the Kid up, I think. But
but it's crazy. It's crazy how
a lot of that. But if you look at the guys, like you said, longevity. Like, well, those guys were out around the same time. You look at, they were the same freshman class. I think. I think 21 Savage, Lil Yachty, Uzi, all those guys were the same freshman class. I think Famous Dex and Rich the Kid were out around the same time. If you look at who's still around and who's continuing to make music, out of all those guys who've gotten, bigger as artists, Yachty is, like you said, he's not completely gone, but he's not what it was.
Yeah, he touches a little bit and then he goes right back. But Lil Uzi is Uzi, bro. He's just every time there's an album coming out.
To make good music consistently. You gotta be able to make good music consistently. Yeah. That heat shit is only gonna get you so far. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to art, especially now with Instagram, like and TikTok and all this shit, all you need with social media is to get a little bit of a buzz. Yeah. A lot of times these guys are on a label and they pay the Shade Room to post some stupid shit.
Yeah, all the time.
What's going on with that? And people see you enough, they start to tune in, and it doesn't take a lot to get you buzzing, but to get you a career with longevity, that takes talent. You need to have the talent to back it up.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Otherwise, you're gonna be running off fumes and it's over.
Yeah, you're gonna be that's all it is, man. That's all it is. It's all about like how can you maintain it. Like one artist I predict, and I want to see if you think that way too. when I hit the baby, it's
Yeah.
the same flow all the time, and it's just and the thing is that it's to me it's like that. It gives you that Carolina close to like Southfield where it's like almost the same shit. That's why certain people, you know, can only pop so much. That's why I like about like I'm not the biggest fan of Lil Baby, but when he spits, even though he has that like that southern rapping accent, it's hard to understand sometimes. But when I look at the lyrics, I'm like, yo, this dude can really spit when he wants
crazy,
to.
and he's flowing crazy.
Yeah, and like that's what
He
makes
can flow on any beat.
Yeah, exactly. And when I look
He
at
out-rap Drake on his shit.
yo, for real, you know that. That last part, that's all I listen to. I skip Drake shit. I'm like, yo, I'm about to listen when Lil Baby.
Kind of disrespectful, but
I'm sorry, but yeah, it's too fire, and that song is too fire. I usually when Drake's on the song, I'm like, yeah, this song's gonna go because of Drake, but it went because of Lil Baby. Lil Baby said,
Baby goes crazy.
Lil Baby said, yo, you know, you Drake and all, I'm Lil Baby, bitch. Like on the South, man, you can't fuck with my level.
Yeah. So he said, "You're not gonna out rap me the way you were rapping these other motherfuckers on their shit." He went crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And with guys like, you know, the Baby.
Yeah, he
makes. That's the thing. It's like you gotta have. He saw a formula that worked for him.
Yeah.
And he's all right. Fuck it. I'm gonna just keep doing this. But he's capable of doing other shit.
For real. I see.
You know that song that he has with Kanye. There's some shit on his other albums too. You know that he's like rapping in different beats with different flows. Cause he can rap. He has content. He spits. He's saying shit. He flows. I think that he said to himself, like, "Oh, this is working for me. So I'm gonna keep doing this." A lot of these rappers treating rap like a hustle.
Yo, you said that before.
If I can get the same lick 100 times, I'm gonna get the same lick 100 times, right? And I think that's how the Baby's looking at it. And a lot of times, you guys still gotta understand the guys that's coming from nothing and they come into this industry and they're looking at it like, okay, well, I'm getting paid to make this kind of music. I'm gonna keep making this kind of music. They're not thinking 10, 20 years ahead of time. You know, they're thinking, yo, I need to keep making this money right now, today, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're treating it like that, like a hustle, like a situation where you're not doing it for the real self-expression of the art of it,
that's true.
Then it's easy to get lost in trying to make the same formula that got you success before. Yeah. And I don't think that's a new thing. I think that that's something that's been going on for a while, but I think that it's more visible and more commented on because of social media. Okay. You know, people be like, "Oh, his beats sound like the Rugrat theme song." Oh, he raps the same flow over and over.
Yeah.
I don't. But I mean, and this is one of my favorite artists ever. If you look at 50 Cent's albums, his albums all were trying to recreate Get Rich or Die Trying.
So
the same formula over and over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that we're looking at similar situations here because 50 was a hustler. He came into the game trying to hustle too.
Yeah, that's definitely a fact. And I think he top 10 all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
if you look at his albums, every album sounded like a more and more watered down version of Get Rich or Die Trying.
And the thing is that it worked. That's the thing, right? It's like shit works.
Until it didn't anymore.
Of course. You know that.
Finally people were like, oh, this shit again.
Exactly. And that's how I feel about the Baby. So do we think the Baby is hot or is he like a hybrid now? Like he has the talent, but he's trying to maintain being hot still.
I think he's still running off. He was so hot so quick.
Yeah, he was.
That he's running off the flame still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But on his next project, his next album, not his next feature, not his next, whatever.
It's got to be different.
His next album, he needs to deliver something a little differently.
Yeah.
Or he's not going to be able to reach the next level or continue on that same, trajectory long term.
I also think it's a respect thing too. I think it's respecting too. Like I think people are gonna be like, "Yo, bro, like you ain't coming out with different." Like you can rap about the same shit. That's what makes you most talented. If you could rap about the same shit in the most clever and lyrical way, bro, and it's catchy, bro, that's when you know you're most talented. Like,
well, he showed us that he could do it on that song, Jail with Kanye.
yeah,
His flow was different.
OD.
He's rapping about what's going on with him personally. He's talking about, you know what I'm saying, he's got a lot of shit going on with him. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker's in a fight every other week.
Yeah, so saying punching
you know
everybody,
I mean? Like,
shot somebody. Yo, it's like, yo, this dude different.
You could make a track for every fucking fight you had this month.
Yeah,
and have a whole album by the end of the year. But yeah, we're gonna need to see something a little different, man. We don't want to feel like you're a one-trick pony, and I think that I personally like his music, and I think he's talented. I think that he's just found a formula that works. But if you rely on that too much, I think people start to lose faith in you overall. Yeah. And hip hop is always changing. The sound's always changing.
Always, bro.
So you gotta fucking evolve.
You got to, bro. It's like, I think that this is the era of like samples. Like, it's always been sampled, but now I'm starting to see like they really grabbing a snippet of the song, and then they'll take it, and then they'll drop a beat behind it, and then the sound in the background is taking over. Then you rapping over it with a little bit of change here and there, with a little bit of trumpets or a nice high bass. It's like, it's crazy now. I'm like, yo, dude, like, yeah, back then they grabbed samples and everything, but now you're taking like the flow of it, and then you're putting your own style into it. Now it's like, holy shit.
And it's samples that because, you know, we grew up listening, and we're like, oh shit, they sampling this now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, people are sampling Dipset. People are sampling shit like that. And we're like, oh fuck, this is our shit.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying? And Dipset use samples in their shit.
Exactly.
You know, so it's crazy because now it's like, oh, I'm fucking old. These motherfuckers are sampling shit that I grew up listening to.
Mm-hmm.
Making a brand new beat with it.
Exactly.
And going crazy. But yeah, to go back to the original question, I don't think the baby is all heat and all hype. I think that he's got the talent, but he's doing work. And I think that if he gets outside of his comfort level and does something a little different than what he's used to doing, he'll show that his talent isn't all just about, you know, the heat. I think his talent will carry his career further. Some artists can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. The main component, the main attribute I think we're both getting at is consistency. If you're most talented versus hottest, you can be hot for a while. Like, it's like anything, you know.
Island Boys, those motherfuckers were hot for like a month.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, I don't even know what the fuck they were talking about. Yeah. Tattoos in their face, looking crazy, but right?
They were hot for that.
I haven't seen them since. I don't even know if they're still alive. You know what I'm saying? Every time you're gonna see, you can get hot off bozo shit, doing dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Get a tattoo in your face and do some stupid shit, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is hilarious," and then you know, put it on their stories and retweet it and put it on, you know, dance to some shit on TikTok and whatever, right? But can you take that shit and do something with it? You know what I mean?
And then that's
there ain't no talent involved. It's all heat.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's what we're saying, man. Like, consistency just matters, OD. And it's like what bothers me the most about a lot of these artists, I think they focus on, like, it's like anything. It's like you try to make a name for yourself so much, and like you said, the evolution of like TikTok and Instagram, and to be honest too, I started this right now. A lot of people, like a lot of Instagram stars, a lot of OnlyFans stars, whatever, from social media are making music. And since they have the biggest fan base in TikTok, they can literally go make a song and it'll be more popping than the actual person that hustled all their life to get to this stage, to do this. And then one person drops a song, like kind of like this kid Kai. He did a song with LMD Chopper, and now it's popping. It was like trending 3rd or 5th on YouTube. And it's like, yo, a lot of these artists are like, dude, this motherfucker never rapped before, and he rapped on this song, and he sound alright. And it's like, oh shit. And now it's like,
you can't sell out shows with one song.
That's a fact. For a while, you came for like a
catalog.
Yeah.
You need a fucking catalog.
Yeah.
To do shows, to tour, to sell out arenas, to sell out even fucking SOBs. You gotta have music for people to. I'm not buying a ticket to a show with a motherfucker with one song.
That's true.
It's not gonna happen.
And
You know what
that's
I'm
what
saying?
makes me think, and that's what makes me think that some artists kind of like stray away from like being consistent because they're so focused on everybody else is trying to get hot, so I gotta get hot too. And then the
And
labels
that's the
and the labels
problem.
pushing you too. Yo,
But
you
when
gotta push this
you have
out.
a career that you worked on, that
Yeah,
you created from the ground up, you're gonna have a fan base that's gonna support you
yeah,
throughout. You know what I'm saying? And I go back to guys like Russ. He started from grassroots. He started from like SoundCloud and shit, right?
hmm,
And he continues to make music that's quality. And so when he talks about, oh, I sold out Staples Center, and people are like, oh, stop fucking bragging. It's like, no, that's the difference
yeah, bro.
between a
That's
guy that's hot and a guy that's talented, because you may be hot. So it's all about perception. You may be hot right now, but the Island Boys are not selling records. They've been selling tickets to shows.
yep.
You know what I mean? People just got them on Instagram because they think they're funny. That's it. That's where the shit stops. When it comes to guys like Smoke Perp and all these, I
Yeah,
haven't heard Little Pump. I don't even know if they still make music.
that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? I think that the issue is people are worried about getting hot, not realizing that there's no longevity, career, and lifestyle in that. You can't make a career of what's hot right now. You gotta really put the work in no matter what you do.
Yeah,
Everybody's looking for a shortcut in everything. And there's no such thing as a shortcut. There's no such thing as a shortcut to lose weight. There's no such thing as a shortcut to make money. There's no such thing. You
nope.
know what I'm saying? Unless you hit the lotto, but even still, you want to keep making money, you're gonna have to take that money you want and invest it in some shit that makes sense.
That's true.
It's not an overnight thing. And I would take a career based on my talent before being a career based on me being hot.
Yeah,
You know, everything comes and goes when it comes to being hot, but the talent, nobody could take it from you.
yeah.
So you're always going to be able to make your own success.
And that's what's like, and that's like what's like the biggest thing is like when you try to be hot, it makes me feel as if your body of work is being the real true body of work you want to build
Mm-hmm.
is in jeopardy now because now people are looking at you as this type of artist. Now when you want to drop music that actually is subtle, defined, actually actual meaningful music,
Mm-hmm.
your fans gonna be like, this ain't nothing like your hits, bro. This is trash. But if you look at us, like we look at the music, we're like, bro, this guy's
Yeah.
nice. He's developing into something. And then that's
Yeah.
when some people will slowly transition into that. Like that's what that's what I appreciate for 21 Savage. His music was like just slow. He was like 1, 2, 3, 4. It was catchy at first. Then it's like, what
Yeah.
substance
I
you
fuck with
bringing
21. That was
behind
my
that
guy.
gangster shit?
Yeah.
Like he rap about gangster shit, but it's like Meek Mill, he rap about the hood and gangster shit, but he clever with his pen. Dave East, same way, you little clever with your pen, and
Yeah.
then you listen to that music, you're like, damn, these motherfuckers is nice. That's
But
what I
see,
love about Jadakiss. He rap about the gutter.
yeah.
Pusha T too.
Yeah.
He rap about the gutter, but that pen behind it would paint a picture, and you're like, yo, it's the same shit that we talk about all the time, but he was slick
I
with it,
don't
bruh.
feel like 21 is a good example because 21, even though lyrically he wasn't as good as he was his whole career as he is now, now he's spitting. He always had good songs, hit songs, um, and that's talent, right? Um, and then he improved his skill and sharpened his sword and he got better.
Mm-hmm.
A guy like Dave East, I don't really ever see Dave East making a hit record. And that's okay, because he's in that lane and he's a spitter and he's a beast with it. Meek could do both. Meek is like if you took 21 and Dave East and kind of put them together,
Yeah,
that's Meek.
yeah,
You know what I'm
he
saying?
definitely the best of both
And I
worlds.
think that it's like some guys are talented in one area, some guys are talented in another, some guys can dabble in both, and then you've got like guys that can like excel in both, and that's when you start getting to that Drake level of success, where the
Yeah,
guy can sing, do Afro beats, do a record where he's rapping through the same, like just no hook, rapping, talking about 1 a.m. in Toronto and 11 in Calabasas and just rapping his ass
yes,
off.
facts.
And but nobody's ever gonna say he is the best lyricist.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's ever gonna say that about because they're gonna be, oh, well, Kendrick's the best, right? Or J. Cole was the better lyricist, or you may have a dude that's like, oh, MF Doom was the best lyricist. So it depends, right? But you can't deny that he's upper level across the board, and those guys are always gonna have a career, regardless of what. Guys like him, Kanye's nobody's gonna say Kanye's the best lyricist. Nobody ever says, yo, Kanye is the best rapper. They're gonna say he's probably one of the best hip hop artists. You know what I'm saying? He's up there, top tier, across the board, and he checks off a lot of different boxes.
Yeah, that's definitely true. He checks off a crazy amount of boxes.
It's cool to have like guys like Davies, guys like Griselda. Those dudes are always gonna have their core fan base, regardless of what. They're gonna have a lifestyle that they can make off of rapping.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I feel that way about 21 Savage as well. He's always gonna have a lifestyle that he has of being a rapper. You know what I'm saying? So, but those guys that are just like, I want to make this hit song and I'm gonna rap about whatever's popping right now. I'm gonna troll and I'm gonna pull up to this block and say, "Yo, I'm dying outside," and do all that type of bozo shit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get a tattoo on my face of a leprechaun or
some
whatever.
Shit.
Yeah.
Bozo. to make some type of relevancy. Yeah.
Yeah. When you get to a certain point, everybody's gonna be like, "All right, but like we're moving on now."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The thing is, what's cool about that is like you talk about Kanye, you talk about how they talk about he's a hip hop artist and he'll be one of the best hip hop artists, but he won't be like the best lyricist. And then that's when we talk about rappers versus hip hop artists. Like rappers is more about the pen. It is more about the pen. That's when you talk about dudes like a lot of people don't want to give Cassidy his flower, but Cassidy can spit, Jadakiss can spit, Dipset, Cameron, all of them they can spit. Jim Jones, like. Most Def, like those like some rappers, bro. Like if you put them all in a cipher, you like, bro, this shit about to get
Black Thought,
yes.
Papoose was people don't know Papoose was dropping an album every month for like a year.
It's crazy, right?
Before he's like, and then he did that for like a year, and then he said, "I'm not rapping no more." That's it. I just want to show y'all that I'm the best rapper. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to lyricism and guys like that, but. Papoose has only had one real like hit record.
I think it was the Alphabetical Slaughter one.
No, what was that record? Matter of fact, I don't even think it was his record. It was him on a hit record. He was on Busta's out record. Was that a Touch It remix?
Oh yeah, he was.
That was the only hit I think he've ever been on.
Yo, bro, like that song got like 4 fucking remixes, bro. That shit's
yeah, I know.
That shit is ridiculous.
But
that'd be fire though.
He's like, my thumb is Manhattan or whatever he says, some weird shit. But Pap is always like thinking outside the box. But
yeah, that's a fact.
You got guys that are now making careers, making almost as much money, if not as without like real radio hits, without hits. And I think Griselda is like the perfect example of that. These dudes are fucking rapping, like rapping.
Yeah.
And on old school, grimy, boom bap, Alchemist, Derringer beats, right? But you have guys that are just like, this is what we do. We're just gonna rap.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
You got guys, like Kanye, like Lil Uzi. Like I would even say Drake, even because when those ghostwriting, when that ghostwriting like thing came out,
yeah, that was.
People were like, yeah, but do we look at him like he's Hove? Do we look at him like he's Nas? Do we look at him like he's Jada?
No.
Oh, we put him in the category with Jay-Z. I mean, with Kanye. We put him in the category with Kanye West. We put him in that category.
Yeah.
And that's a different thing. We put him in the category with like guys like Kid Cudi. Guys that guys like Uzi, and like they're gonna make music that's hip hop music, but it's not necessarily rapping. You know what I mean? They may be kicking some shit in their lyrics, but it's not um, rapping. It's an evolution from it.
Yeah.
So it's hip hop music.
Yeah.
But it's not based on lyricism.
That's a fact.
Alone.
Yeah, that's something that Kid Cudi like did big. Like he took a sound with rap and he was in his own element. His flow is unique as hell. I never heard anybody rap like him. Like he has this it's like I don't know, it's like slow. It's slower than usual, but it's just
it's not rapping. It's like it's hip hop music, but he's not really rapping. Travis Scott's another one.
Yeah, that's a
Travis
fact.
Scott's
It's
like he's like making music that's hip hop music, but it's not. He's not rapping. He's not up there like spitting. It's different.
Yeah, bro. It really is like he's like talking, but like in such a hip hopping form. You're like, bro, this guy's not saying shit, but I'm bumping to it. Like, fuck.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn, you got me.
Yeah, and then he's got these beats and these pockets that he's going in, and it's like, it's inspired by traditional rap, but it's hip hop music. It's hip hop because hip hop is, but it's not like he's not up there like kicking a 16 and then.
Yeah, exactly. Like they sit over here like just hyping you up. Like, all right, bro, I'm gonna say a couple of bars and this beat's gonna go, and I'm gonna say little ad-libs in the back, and then that's it. Call it a day.
Exactly. And then it's but also as hip hop grows as a culture, it's touching different ears, touching different people.
It is.
And as society changes and the world changes, when things change, culture changes, hip hop is like maneuvering through everything. And the same way when, Wu-Tang was out here rapping about smoking dust, I mean, let's be honest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
That's the sound that, you know what I mean? Like you listen to Wu-Tang music and you can almost feel the environment.
The same way Pusha T does.
Travis Scott, yeah, exactly. You listen to Travis Scott, you can feel the environment that he's making music about.
That's a fact.
He's making music that's it feels like, sounds like what psychedelic drugs feel like.
Yeah.
And I say like Kid Cudi is the same thing. It sounds like what being depressed and popping an E would feel like. You know what I'm saying?
Put you in that mode, yeah.
Exactly. And those feelings, you can't just grab a mic and rap. It's a different vibe.
Yeah, it's a different vibe.
But it's still influenced by grabbing a mic and rapping.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And that's why like that's what makes them so different. Like when you rapping, it's like literally I could walk up to you and be like, yo, spit a 16. And then you spitting. You're like, all right. Like I'll rap about this, that. Yeah. I'll rap about your shirt. And I'll match it with this, that. But then like when you look at an artist, he could look at like a real good artist. He'll look at your whole persona and be like, I'm gonna create something out of this. Instead of me spitting about it, I'm gonna spit. It may not be, and that's why we have different tiers of artists. That are hybrids, like Jay. Like Jay is like I can do everything, but it's like certain artists are like, all right, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna make a nice beat out of it. I'm gonna take this environment that I'm in, and I'm gonna make a flow out of it, a beat, and then a cadence that is gonna draw everybody in. They're like, oh shit!
It's like certain artists are like more producer than they are rapper.
Yes. Creation. They're like, I'm about to create a whole fucking image out of this.
Some of them are like that perfect fusion of both.
Yeah. Jay.
You know what I mean? And I think that like it's evolving to the point where more of these artists are becoming more of the like song makers.
Yeah, they are.
Production, even, you know what I mean? There's guys that can rap. Like, I was talking about Russ earlier. Russ can rap.
Yo.
The best of them.
I remember when he was in like BET doing a cypher. He doing a cypher in BET. He was spazzed. I was like, who the fuck is this Russ dude? Checked out his music earlier. I said, like way earlier in the years. I'm like, yo, this dude's nice. crazy.
And he puts those chopped albums out to let you know, like, nah, I could rap with the best of them.
I could sing
You know what
too.
I'm saying? I could rap with Benny the Butcher. I could rap with the Game. I could rap with these guys that are
Yeah,
rappers. But at the same time, I can make these records.
that's
You
a
know, I
fact.
can sing. I can make these records that'll make these girls dance. I can make these records that,
That's a
you know, are
fact.
heartfelt. I could produce. I could do this. And I think that that came from, you know, Kanye,
Yes.
then it was Drake, then it was, and you got this like branch out that comes from that. Um Hove was always a little more MC
Yeah.
than anything else. You know what I'm saying? But he's also able to make records that are not just straight spitting. And going back to the conversation we were having earlier about the Blueprint
Yeah.
and Blueprint 2 and Blueprint 3. Blueprint was the first record where he was like, nah, I'm not just like a rapper. I can do all this shit.
Yeah, bro.
And so I think that that's, you know,
That shit solidified his
the
career.
difference in tiers when it comes
Yeah.
to shit. You got to be able to be a hip hop artist and a rapper to be top tier. And then if you want to be mid tier, you could just be a rapper or you could just be a hip hop artist. You know what I'm saying? Mid to low tier. You could just do one or the other, whatever. But depending on how good you do those things, and if you're able to fuse those things together, now you get to that next level.
Yeah, yeah. You get to the level where you're not even looked at as a rapper or an artist. You're looking
Yeah,
at you're looked at as a
superstar.
yeah, exactly. Like a superstar, just like
Mhm.
in the making, especially with a lot of these dudes. That's what I like about with like artists that are like superstars, because like rappers can only last so long. And if you're an
Mhm.
artist and you
Mhm.
know how to make bangers, you're gonna be looked at as a guy that just makes bangers or makes pretty good albums. But in
Mhm.
terms of your artistry and your pen, if you could do both, Hove, Nas, J. Cole, Kendrick,
And
um,
I gotta give one more dude props. Fat Joe is a dude that can spit. He comes from MCing,
yeah,
but he's always had hits year
facts,
after year after year. Different generations, he's had hits.
yeah,
And, you know, but he's an MC, he's a rapper. You know what I mean? You got
yeah,
a flow, Joe, all that shit. That's like old school.
yeah, old
So,
school Joe right there.
you know what I'm saying? There's dudes that, like, they're really super. Nori's another one. Nori was the guy that he came out with CNN, and everybody was like, oh, he's on his real, like, you know, as he came out after Mob Deep. Everybody was like, oh, this shit. But then he took it somewhere else when he got with Pharrell.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to do other shit. Then he fucked around and did some reggaeton. And he's able to do that shit. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
it's
And
crazy.
dudes that can do that type of stuff, um, it's another level of success
Yeah,
in
bro.
your career. That's when then we're going back to longevity.
Yeah, because your
You know what I mean?
discography is different after that, bro. Like
Yeah,
everybody gonna be like, "Yo, this guy did all this shit," and like, and
yeah.
and, and, and the thing is, like another dude I listen to, like I'm a big fan of him also, but like Tory Lanez, I gotta admit, this dude can go
Yeah.
from different types of elements, bro. He can spit, sing, go to African, Latin, all that. I'm like, yo, bro, and it was funny. I'm seeing a lot of these
He's
fucking
a
Canadian,
chameleon in a good way.
yeah, yo,
He
but
can do a lot of different beats and a lot of different flows, and you could tell like he's really a student
the
of hip
game,
hop music.
OD.
You know what I'm saying? I think he's just that, he's 4'1". Now let me chill. But nah, but in all honesty though, like regardless of what of how you feel about him, you can't deny the talent.
Yo, this
You
dude
know
is
what
different, bro.
I mean? But yeah, man, like he's a guy that can go up to Hot 97 and rap with a flow that you're like, oh, is he from New York?
Yeah, yo,
And he can
yo,
get in a, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, when he
And he
was
could
on
get on
Funk
a
Flex, it
record
was
and you're like,
different.
and then he could get on a record with Kalani and be singing and have melodies
That's a fact.
and
He'd
then he
be
could
like,
like
yo,
drop a song that you're like, oh, this sounds like some shit this sounds something like some real Canada Toronto shit. Like, and he does a lot of different, he covers a lot of different, checks a lot of different boxes.
yo,
I
OD.
think he just got in the way of it, of his own growth with outside shit. You know what I mean? I think that his talent would have been at a different level. His career would have been at a different level. Um, if it wasn't for the controversy.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like he was getting up there when people was like, yo, this dude's music is crazy. Like when he comes out with the Chicks tapes, they're like, yo, how you taking these old songs that were popping, you know what I'm saying, and make them like, yo, this modern version is different, bro.
And honestly, people don't want to give him credit because of the whole shit that's going on with him and Megan or whatever. But if we're being honest, he started that wave of R&B songs, recycling older songs. Not even that old, like late 90s, 2000s.
Yeah, like crazy.
And we got Summer Walker doing it. You know what I mean? We had LMA doing it. We have a lot of different R&B artists, even taking old hip-hop records and turning them into R&B songs.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
And, I mean, I personally would credit that to Tory Lanez. I think he created that lane that a lot of other artists ran with.
Yeah, that's a fact. He could be like, I built the blueprint for y'all motherfuckers to do that shit.
Yeah, it's a fact.
I made that shit. I made that shit crazy popping. Cause like even if you listen to Chicks Tape 2, he doing like some 80s songs. Like the fuck, I'm like, yo, how the fuck is this dude doing this?
Yeah.
Taking like early 90s songs. It's like, yo, that's crazy. And to me, it's like that type of talent level. That's what separates you from being from being like a artist to to almost a superstar. It's like if you could bounce in so many elements and you could make dudes like Casanova, JoJo, all of them like popping. Like if you tell Kehlani, yo, my song "Can I" is the best song on your album because I'm in it. It's like, yo, this guy's different. It's like he jump on a song.
I'm gonna be honest with you, that's bullshit though.
No, but like you know, with him,
the whole album is good. But
yeah, it's a good album.
He, like I said, his talent was undeniable.
Yeah,
the outside shit gets in the way of that.
Yeah, it's a lot of outside shit. The baby too. The baby doing a lot of outside shit. It's probably gonna fuck with a lot of the shit he going to do.
Once you canceled, like official, like real canceled, not like fake canceled, where like 4 people in the comments are like, "Oh, you're canceled." I'm talking about like really, like when motherfuckers turn against you.
Yeah,
it's rough.
It's hard to
and
bounce
especially
back
when you're making that kind of music and women don't fuck with you.
Yeah,
it's hard because it's like you making records for women.
And you already know in the world there's way more women than men in this world. So you got the women up behind your side. There's a lot of other shit.
Women stop fucking with Drake.
Oh, bro, he go from like 50 monthly listeners to like 20.
He grew his beard out for the women.
He shape up all the
time. He wanted to solidify that shit. Because there was one criticism, and I'm gonna be honest, there was one criticism that these chicks had. They said, yeah, he makes good music or whatever, but he's kind of goofy looking. Y'all remember goofy looking Drake? Y'all all
the grassy
remember
Drake?
Goofy looking Drake. His eyes are far apart, and he like the fresh out of the grassy Drake. Like y'all remember?
Take me later, Drake.
Goofy looking Drake.
Take me later, Drake.
You know what I'm saying? Like when he was like doing that weird rhyme scheme. That like
shit.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, then you got Take Care Drake. It's like, bitch, I'm that nigga.
Yeah, and then he's like, he started growing his beard, and he started getting into his poppy shampoo shit, poppy champagne shit. That's when he's like, oh, that's when he like, that's how he got the certified lover boy. The beard gave him that. Oh, I think, and then he started having like curls in his hair, and you were like, oh, is Drake Dominican? Like, what's going on here? Like,
and then he started jumping on Spanish music and all that shit.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's the shit. It's like, y'all remember goofy looking Drake. When Drake started doing that beard shit, and, you know what I'm saying? He started dressing a little different, and when he started doing all that, that's when the girls were like, oh my God, ooh, wow. And it was over. That's like, boom, that's what he talked about it. That's when his career, because the dude, we were all fucking with him, because he could rap.
Yeah.
You were like, okay, he's kind of nerdy, he's kind of goofy, but whatever. Men, as long as you can rap, we don't give a fuck. Yeah. We're going to be like, yo, he can rap. But like, yo, you don't care. He got one eyeball. He can rap, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fetty Wap, nigga, the music is good. We fucking with it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Conway's face is crooked.
Yeah.
And he's so nice that we don't care.
You be like, bro.
You know what I'm saying? We don't care because men don't give a shit about that shit.
That's a fact. We ain't trying to look at you like, that nigga ugly. Like, bro, you can rap this
funny. If you look funny, a girl's always gonna be like, yeah, but you ugly though. So that nigga had to grow the beard out to be fly.
That's a fact.
And you know what I'm saying? He had curls one week, then he had the Caesar, then he threw the heart in his hair.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And they were like, "Oh my God, he's so cute." And
then he
now
started
it's
going
like,
to the gym. He started going to the
yeah.
gym, get a little buffed out. Like,
Oh,
oh
when
my
Drake came to my house, I'm looking at my girl like, "I'll pack my shit right now." And I like, "You gotta relax."
That's a fact,
You
bro.
know what I'm saying? But that's when he took it to the next. You know what I'm saying? Once you have women fucking with you, there's nothing like your career is at a different level.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
know what I'm saying?
And they defend him
And
like crazy.
yeah, even Jay-Z had to apologize to Beyonce because once that beehive was on his ass.
Oh yeah, it's over. Yeah, yo, Beyonce fan base is different, bro.
Yeah.
But like
144 was because the beehive was on Jay's ass.
He's like, fuck, I gotta address this, bro.
Yeah, you got
I gotta
to
clear the air.
solidify the female fan base, period.
Yeah.
There was a point in time where female MCs were significantly more popping than male MCs. They were doing. You had
the
90s. City Girls, Sweetie, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Lotto. Or there was a point in time where like they were all going. And it's pardon me if I'm forgetting any because I'm sure there's a lot more like Stefflon Don,
of course.
Dream Doll, Asia Doll, all the dolls, right?
Yeah. But the dolls, they alright.
Yeah,
but Cardi B,
and even
Megan
the male rappers had to jump on these records with them. Little Baby had to do a record with City Girls.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? 21 Savage has to do these. So once you solidify the female fan base, but once the female fan base don't mess with you no more, your career is like it's finicky, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like the '90s too with the female artists though. '90s was crazy. A lot of women was rapping. You already got Queen Latifah.
At that time though, the female fan base wasn't as big. Like the female rappers had to appeal to the men. Right? Now, you male rappers have to appeal to the women.
Yeah, I feel like the women are just like,
everything was hard. Everything was like, yeah, we on the corner drinking 40s and shooting people, whistling. You know what I'm saying? The girls were dressing like guys. They were wearing baggy Tommy Hilfiger. Nowadays, every rapper has to have records for women.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And if the women stop messing with you at a certain point, your career is going to be on a downslope.
Yeah.
And what happened with Tory Lanez is, when those allegations came out of him, allegedly shooting Megan Thee Stallion.
You already know.
Women were like, yo, wait, hold up. Then some women were saying, you know what, yeah, we're going to see. I still like his music, whatever, because, whatever. But then he started tweeting and doing this and doing that. And it's just like, you're doing a lot of, you're not looking good in the perception area. And women will turn on you. And once you make that kind of music where you're singing and you're making melodic songs, these mixtapes were called the chicks tapes because they were for the chicks.
Yeah, for the
if
chicks.
The chicks ain't listening to you no more, brother.
Yeah, they ain't. And that's the thing. Social media is definitely a son of a bitch too. Like since we talking about it, we gotta address it, man. Like when you said remember when you asked, you said, when social media doesn't like get behind an artist, what does it take to overcome that stigma, and which artists have successfully done it, and as well as which artists haven't. We don't know what Tory Lanez gonna do, because if he's guilty, it's over. I don't know how he's gonna come back from it.
If he's guilty,
exactly. But like coming back,
you know what he's gonna do. He's gonna go sleep on that bottom bunk. Or that, you know what I'm saying? But
it's crazy though. Like a lot of artists like that is crazy. Like kind of like when Drake and Pusha T was going at it, and Pusha T exposed him by his son. I was thinking, oh shit, is this gonna fuck up Drake a little bit?
Yeah, but it goes back to the women fan base.
They're like, no, I love
women
Drake.
Didn't give a shit about that.
Yeah,
man.
They did it.
Only us guys were like, oh. So what? Women were like, okay, but we like his songs though.
He's still certified lover boy.
Maybe he didn't write his shit, but we still like his shit.
That's a fact.
And there's levels of success that at a certain point you're uncancelable.
Yeah.
No matter what social media says, it's not going to last. They try to cancel Hove. They told him, Hove is working with the NFL and he's doing this and he's doing that. He shouldn't be doing it, right? People forgot about that shit like this. You know what I'm saying? It's Hove, right? And Hove didn't have to say anything. He didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to make a statement. He didn't have to, have damage control because he's that big of an artist, right? Unfortunately, there's guys and girls and some, artists that have to address it. They have to give in.
Yeah.
When social media said, "Oh, mulatto, that's racist. You have to change your name to Lotto," he had to do it because she's not of that stature to where she can be like, "Fuck y'all."
Yeah, that's
You
a
know what I'm
fact.
saying? So she changed her name to Lotto, and she still got bullshit, and they still whatever, right?
Doja Cat too. Remember? Doja Cat said that shit. It was like,
Doja's another one,
yeah,
but she had to address it. She had to address it. How you address it dictates whether you stay canceled.
that's true.
And then it goes back to you being talented because
Mhm.
the social media is only going to control the temporary part of your heat in your career. But when you get to a point where you're like, yo, I'm hot on social media and I'm making banging music, and you reach some scandal, you may take a hit, but if you continue to deliver, you're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? You look at guys like Travis Scott. Travis Scott took a hit to his career.
Oh yeah,
It was a big, social media was on him. And I saw even a lot of things that were irrational, blaming him, and you know he had to cancel tours. Nike pushed back his drops,
I was like, yo, that is crazy how one thing can just.
but Nike's dropping his shit soon. Nike's gonna come out soon. He's going on tour soon. His album should be coming soon. It's like sometimes you gotta kind of like weather the storm.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, Tory Lanez does too much talking, and he's doing more harm to himself than good. You know what I mean? Address certain things because you're not of the stature of like Jay-Z, Kanye. Kanye addresses everything, yes, because he's manic, but uh, yeah, whatever. But Drake and these guys are up there, and they don't really have to address shit. They don't. They just gotta continue to make good music and make good product that people are gonna forget and people are gonna move on, whatever, right? As long as you don't keep doing that crazy wild shit and
Yeah.
keep fucking up, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes you have to address shit. And sometimes the narrative, no matter how fake or unreal it is, gets away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to Russ again. Russ, the narrative was Russ is corny.
Yep.
Russ is whack. Oh, this is some Russ shit. Russ is trash. All those artists that were saying that about Russ were not as talented as Russ. But not only were they not as talented as Russ, they weren't giving it up like Russ out here. Russ had these boys out here punching dudes in their face. And in a society that respects that type of shit on social media, unfortunately, it's just saying, oh, if we don't see it, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where it used to be, we don't talk about it no matter what happened. Nobody's, you know what I'm saying? So he showed, oh, this, this guy was talking shit, we watched him. That guy was talking shit, we watched him. This dude was talking shit, we beat his ass too. And he played the game the way he had to because he's an independent artist. He didn't have that label behind him.
That's true.
And the narrative was becoming he's corny, he's whack. And those are things that over time could really affect your career. So he was able to get out of it. He was able to shift. But other artists, sometimes they're not so lucky.
Yeah.
They don't have the knowledge of how to maneuver in today's music.
I think that's
overcome true. That shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like how to communicate and everything is like one of the biggest things just in general in life, how to get out of a situation, how to sway your way out of it. Because you're like, all right, this type of heat, and especially it's about acknowledging the amount of heat you can gain if you don't address it right away, when to address it. It's about the timing, yo. It is about time. If you tackle it too early, you may be doing more harm than good. But if you know that right balance of when to strike, like, all right, I'm going to do it this way, bang, that's it.
I'll give you a perfect example. Joe Budden. Joe Budden has had more scandals publicly than any other rapper in the music industry. He is now involved in media. He's had more scandals in media than any other rapper that went to media, right? Yet somehow he stays alive. right? You know why? I'm gonna tell you motherfuckers a secret right now. He panders to women when it's necessary. He panders to women when it's necessary and he gets them behind him or whatever, right? And then there's times where he purposely creates the drama when he needs the heat,
Oh yeah,
right?
bro.
He creates the drama. Right now, he does the same thing over and over. He creates some drama, and then he'll go and he'll align himself with a very popular opinion, and everybody's like, "Yeah, he's right. He's right." Then he'll go and say some shit that's unpopular, and everybody will go, "Oh, he's bugging. He's doing this," but people will repost it, and the shade room will be like, "Oh,
Exactly.
Joe
He's like, all
Budden said
right.
this." He plays both sides, so he doesn't fall too much this way, but he's never too much that way. He's always still interesting and controversial enough. Because he's not always just agreeing with everybody, but he's also saying stupid shit that you're like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? You know what I'm saying? But if you really look at his career, he panders to women, but I think he beats their ass too. But
Yeah,
that's,
yeah. You know.
you know?
You know his ass got an impulsive ass fucking way of doing things too.
Yeah. So, but
Fucking
that's the thing.
crazy
He
ass.
knows how to navigate the social media space.
And he knows how to get that reaction, that right reaction at the right time. He's like, oh yeah, and he feeds off of it. That's what it is. When you know how to feed off it and control it, and nobody knows how you doing it, it's like, oh yeah, I'm a deadly weapon. Y'all motherfuckers can't fuck with me.
He just dropped an interview with some dude, right? And the Shade Room posted it, right? I think people, right? So then he, right after that, made a like somebody tweeted something about Alicia Keys, and then he tweeted something in response, and Swiss felt away, and Swiss tweeted him like, "Yo, my man, like whatever." So that's the thing. It's like he drops something, creates a little controversy. People go look for him, and he keeps his name buzzing.
Yep.
And then if he gets too much heat, he's gonna like say something either about race or about women, and everybody's gonna go, "Yeah, Joe Budden's right." And it's like he knows how to just balance that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but some of these artists, man, they just fall victim to the shit, man.
Yeah. They get too emotional, I think. When you get too emotional about it, you just start to wander off and do things that are unexplainable after a while. They're like, all right, bro, then it is what it is then. Because now it's the thing is how you handle the situation when your back's against the wall. And Joe Budden does the best way of Floyd Mayweathering his way in relevancy. He's like, all right, y'all motherfuckers. All right, I'm a jab, but I'm a weave too. Like, all right, y'all motherfuckers think I can't come with the punches. I can.
And he's not above making an ass out of himself.
Yeah.
For a moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he definitely
and he's got a way of not giving a fuck to do that, but also being good enough at what he does to where you still kind of gotta respect it.
Yeah, cause he be dropping some knowledge on things that you be like, you tilt your head a little bit, like, all right, you kind of right. Like, you really think about it, and that's what it is.
To be honest with you, but
don't get me wrong. There are times where I think when he talks about, I remember when he talked about like Logic and he talked about all these other people. It's like, this when he does criticize certain artists, it's like there are certain things I'm like, all right, you kind of right on that.
Logic is one of them that did not survive that social media turn.
Yeah, man.
Logic is one of those guys. He did not survive the turn that social media took on him.
Yeah, because once he got that Everybody album and he had those hit records and everything, the album got so much criticism from him him constantly addressing the black and white issue of him. I'm black, I'm white, all this, and people are like, all right, bro.
And then Joyner Lucas came out and started like turning against him.
Yeah.
But then Joyner Lucas got it back. Social media turned on Joyner Lucas, and Joyner Lucas really wasn't able to get through that either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those are two artists that once social media turned on them, and once public opinion turned on them, it was over.
Yeah.
They were never the same after that. You gotta figure out what works best for you and your brand when that shit happens.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm saying, because when it's great and they're championing you, it's great. But you could almost count that shit. Like, okay, 5, 4, because everybody was championing the baby, or the baby this, the baby that, the baby this, the baby that. He said some shit they ain't like. They were like, oh, you said what about who? About how? What? The
Yeah,
what?
I think there was
And
about
then
like HIV or
that's
some shit
another
like
one.
that.
That's another group. You piss off the
Oh, bro, that's
plus
anybody now,
minus.
bro. That
Now
is,
you piss them the fuck off,
yeah,
it's over.
it's over now.
Women, once women turn on you, it's pretty much
Yeah,
over.
yeah, it pretty much is, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man.
Yeah, if you really think
Men,
about it, yeah.
if men don't fuck with you, it's like whatever. Like,
Yeah, but if the women still down with you, bro, trust me, you
you
still
know
gonna fill them
why?
seats, bro.
You know why? Because gay men and women spend more money than straight men. That's just a fact.
Oh shit, when you really think about
It's
it.
a, it's a fact. When it comes to it's a fact. Even if like I'm spending money on my girl, like she wants, you know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna spend more on her than I might spend on myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but also when a woman's like, "Yo, I want to go to this show," I'm out. Me and my girl's going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if they don't fuck with you, they're not going to listen to your record. They're not going to your shows. They're not buying your merch. If they see a big brand supporting you, they're gonna be like, you know what? I don't fuck with. Fuck that. We ain't fucking with. You know what I'm saying? They were at a point in time when Nicki was super unpopular. Well, not super unpopular, but it was like, people taking sides between her and Cardi. People wouldn't wear Fendi. People were like, I don't fuck with Fendi. I don't fuck with Nicki. I'm like, wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, yo, you really think about it like that shit.
You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
enough.
And it wasn't the men that was like, oh, I'm not gonna wear Fendi. You know what I'm saying? Not the straight men anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
You
man.
know?
Yeah, yeah.
If I'm not wearing Fendi's because I ain't got it. I'm broke. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not broke. I'm just saying if I'm not wearing Fendi. You know what I mean? But
Oh, shit.
but that's the thing. It's like, you and that's why Drake checks all those boxes.
Yeah, bro. They
He
buy
really
the
does.
merch. They buy the front row
Yeah,
seats. They don't give a fuck how much it costs.
checks all those boxes,
They're
bro.
like, yo,
Like,
and that's true too. Because if you really look at a concert and you look at the stage, it's mostly fucking women, bro. If they fuck with you
yeah,
heavy, it's women grabbing that front
yeah.
row seat, bro.
I'm gonna be real with you. The only show that you're gonna see mostly men is like a Griselda show, right? And my girl different. My girl's gonna come with me to a Griselda show because she likes Griselda too.
Yeah.
You know why she likes Griselda? Because West Side Gun is out here rapping about fashion, art, culture. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's also street shit, and that's what got her introduced to it. Now she fucking bumps Conway, she bumps Benny the Butcher and all that. But you know, the reality, and that's also why they have a female in Griselda as well. She spits and she's nice and all that, but you gotta tap into those markets if you want to get to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Because as men, we're gonna find out ways to steal your album. We're gonna find out ways to steal pay per view.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch your show on TV and not give a fuck to go there live. And this is not me personally. I'm just saying men in general. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna spend money on that shit. You know?
They be like, shit, man.
Right now, if my girl's like, yo, I want to go see Bad Bunny.
You like,
Now, if I'm like, yo, I want to go see Bad Bunny, me and my boys, and I look at the tickets and they're $1,000, I'm not going. But if my girl says I want to go, we have to go.
cause she going. It don't
That's
matter.
it.
It don't matter.
That's it. I gotta figure it the fuck out, or she gonna figure it out and she gonna go home, girls. She's gonna see Bad Bunny.
Don't give a fuck, bro.
You know what I'm
$1,000
saying?
ticket. I'm
Me
gonna go see.
personally, I'm like, oh, look who's in town. I'm not paying that right now. You know what I'm saying? So these dudes out here, they're saying the wrong shit, the wrong time, in front of the wrong cameras, and they fucking their career up, and they don't know how to get it back.
Yeah, man.
They gotta relax.
Yeah, and the thing is that social media been around for so long, I would think you would know a little bit better how to navigate it. But yeah, at the end of the day, man, when it's stressful, it is what it is with that. So like, So like when it comes to like social media, and I remember we talked about Drake and everything, but now like with Drake and Pusha T, when Pusha T dissed them and all that, social media went crazy and all, and then Drake had to find some way to get back and all that. But then Pusha T was getting some heat too, because obviously, why you coming at Drake? You know how Pusha T look at Pusha T now. Some of the people that don't really know Pusha T and don't know how great of an artist he really is. They're like, oh, look at this bum ass motherfucker trying to diss Drake and all that.
He's got 20 years in the game, so you gotta like.
Yeah, exactly. So they're like, yo, who the fuck is this dude? Pusha T. Some of these young cats don't know. So to talk about that, hey man, overall, I just want to say Pusha T is one of the best rappers of all time. I've always loved I loved his albums, but I think he's like one of the best mixtape rappers I've ever heard, bro. This guy could get on a beat and just destroy it, bro. Like he doesn't need anybody on the mixtapes, even on this album. He don't need that. It's just him alone, bro. He's different.
He's got a better career than a lot of people's favorite rappers.
It's crazy, bro.
And I think that the issue is that he doesn't drop music as consistently,
of course,
as like as Drake. We'll compare him to Drake because they went at each other, right?
Yeah.
But those albums with the clips were great, top tier rapping. He's got hits on every one of those albums.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, that joint album, the Good Music album, that has Don't Like and Click and all that.
Yeah.
Him and Big Sean were the stars of that album. But he can rap with the best of them, but he also puts out great bodies of work.
That's what
from King Push, My Name Is My Name, Daytona, this last one, It's Almost Dry.
Yeah,
they're all incredible albums.
And then
front to back, beginning to end,
bro,
they're great bodies of work.
And just like you also got include the Fear God, and I think it was a Wrath of Cain, bro.
Wrath of Cain.
Wrath of Cain was retarded, bro.
This shit is now. It's a very "What have you done for me lately?" melodies. Everything is fast. So you're dropping an album every 2-3 years, every 4-5 years. People are kind of looking at you like. People would even looking at Kendrick like, okay, he hasn't dropped an album in 5 years. Can we still consider him to be in contention for the GOAT status, right?
Yeah.
But then he dropped this album that was so impactful that people were like, yo, you know what? We kind of got to give him his props. Fuck it, right? Pusha, as quiet as it's kept, should be in a lot more people's top fives. You know what I'm saying? All time. You know what I'm saying?
It's a real debate, though. It's a real debate. I give it that.
Yeah. I think that
definitely top 10 to me.
He's shown a lot of. He's shown longevity.
Oh, dude,
and he's always stuck to his brand. Oh, he only raps about coke and he raps about this. Well, your favorite rapper only raps about spinning the fucking block every single song, and you love it.
And spending money on bitches, having dollar signs in the video, like,
and you love it.
You love it no matter
what. Future drops the same fucking song, and you love it. I love it.
It'd be a different name. It's the same fucking song,
too.
bro. You'd be like,
no, don't get me wrong. I love the bullshit too. I love all that stupid spinning the block and these, you know what I'm saying? There's the shit that these kids do when they dance. I can't do the dance. I got bad knees, but you know what I'm saying? I'm old. But when these dudes out here getting sturdy and to whatever song they're listening to, I like it. I like that shit. But he compared himself to Martin Scorsese, and he said, "I'm the Martin Scorsese of street rap, of coke rap." I gotta say that's a good comparison because Martin Scorsese makes gangster movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He makes gangster movies. He's not making rom-coms. He's not making motherfucking love stories.
Nope.
He's not making a heart-touching thriller. Like, he's not making any of that stupid shit. He's making gangster movies, and he's making the best gangster movies out. Push is giving you the top-notch, hustling, quality music. Him, Ross, Jeezy, early Hove.
Yeah.
This is, that's his lane. That's just what it is.
Yeah, bro. It's just ridiculous. Like, like me, like when he had he had that thing with Drake and everything. I think it was a method for him to push his name out, because then his album came out right
Well,
then and
there's
there.
been tension between them for a long time.
I know. But like when he
And
dropped
there's
that
still
disc,
tension. Like they're still going at it back and
hell
forth.
yeah,
And don't
like,
get me wrong.
yeah, like an interview, he didn't give a fuck. He was like, yo, I don't fuck with that dude.
I'm not thinking about that shit. But Drake, I'm gonna be honest with you. Drake should not be talking about it. Drake, you're the biggest artist in the world. You're the biggest hip hop, artist. Cool, great. You lost the fucking battle,
That's a fact.
and you pump faked, talking about, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and you never did it. Cool, great, fine. I don't want to hear that shit no more. Stop talking. Stop acting like, oh, why I order. Ain't nobody want to hear that shit. Like, you ain't do it when you had the fucking chance to do it, and nobody wants to hear you drop subliminals, tweet, your man's in your entourage talking shit, and nobody wants to hear none of that shit. You lost, move on.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely lost.
Career-wise, your career is way bigger, way more. You're way more. I get it, but I don't think. I think that it should just you should just leave it the fuck alone at this point.
Yeah.
Because nobody is. That's like saying like, oh, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you when I see you. Then I see you, I don't do nothing, and you go, oh, you lucky, brother. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you lucky I ain't slapped the shit out of you.
Like,
and then not only do you say that, then 10 years later, you like, man, I was gonna slap the shit out of him. He's lucky I ain't doing it. Man, nobody talk about that shit anymore, man. Yeah.
That is what it is, though. And then when he dropped, Daytona, that album was good, man. Like, at first, I wasn't fucking with it. I was like, all right. And then, like, I started listening to it more. I'm like, yeah, this album hits hard. Then he comes out Almost Dry. And we talking about this, right, yo, bro. Almost Dry, to me, is one of his best bodies of work I've heard.
It's a great, you know what I'm saying? And it's top tier rap music.
Yeah.
Not just rapping, rap music. Top tier.
It's a fact. Like the songs are just high. Like for me, top to bottom, it's like it's not something like, okay. Like, this album's where there's a lot of replay value in terms of like the bop to it. But then there's songs that's just replay value where you're just like, yo, I'm in this mood and I gotta bump this shit. This shit gonna get me motivated. Like, this motherfucker talking some shit. And that's what I like about this album.
Honest, I feel that way about all his albums. I feel like all his albums have that same kind of quality front to back. And I feel like this particular album, he started to mess with his flows a little bit.
Yeah, bro.
So when he was able to switch up his flows and his rhyme pattern was different, and I was like, oh, this motherfucker's really like, he's trying to show you like, nah, I don't just rap like this. You know what I'm saying? I could rap, like, I could flow different on this beat. I could sound like this. I could do that. You know what I mean? And it's like when he has that like that, and when he's flowing like that, and it's like, you're like, oh, he's moving on this shit different. You know?
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I was disappointed I didn't get now one yuck on the album.
Nah, nothing like that. Nothing like that, bro.
You know,
even me.
Good. It was a good album. It's top tier.
Yeah. It's definitely top tier. I think it's gonna be nominated for top rap album of the year. Like, I think, like, hands down.
I think he would have won a Grammy for best rap album or hip hop album if it wasn't for Kendrick's album. Kendrick's album to me is more Grammy winnable.
Yeah, definitely. And plus, it is, you got that popularity behind it too. Kendrick is definitely still top.
It's just more of a piece of art.
Yeah, it's true too.
Whereas like Pusha's album is like quality. It's quality hip hop rap music,
I'm about the same thing.
but it's not like Kendrick's album just went a different direction that I feel like the Grammys are gonna lean more to.
Yeah, because like it's kind of like how they talked about with J. Cole and For Your Eyes Only. Very personal album. Same way
Yeah,
Kendrick is with this album. Very personal
yeah,
album. And
yeah.
like in terms of the
Except
battle,
Kendrick's not
but
rapping about folding clothes.
yeah, exactly. But what I like about Pusha T, and I still think, of course, I think he's gonna get nominated. I don't think he's gonna win too, but I think it's same with Daytona. Daytona got nominated too. So like honestly, to
Yeah.
me,
I mean, listen, that year was crazy though.
yeah,
That year was crazy because I think Freddie Gibbs was nominated.
yep,
Mad people were nominated. Cardi B.
yeah,
There was a
Cardi,
lot of really good albums nominated that year.
yeah, and
They've
with
been
this,
doing all right. They've been doing better with the hip hop rap
yeah,
categories in the Grammy.
finally, right, something. But yeah, with Pusha T's album, man, like what I got from the album mostly was just showing how versatile he can really be. It's just he chooses not to because
Yeah,
when he came out, when of course in the early years, it was gutter mixtape, gutter albums, gutter, but it was like art form. You know, it was
but
like I'm
Pharrell
rapping about
brings
this
that
art.
out in him. You know
What is that?
what I'm saying? Pharrell brings that out in him. And then when he
Yeah,
started to get with the music, you know, and Kanye, whatever, when you
yeah,
have that level of production, you've got to elevate. You know what
yeah,
I mean? And he shows like, no, I'm an artist too. I'm not just a fucking rapper.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, I rap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I
It's a
rap.
fact.
But I could do this shit. You know, I
Can.
think it's but then there's guys that just can't, you
Yeah,
know, guys that just can't do that for the amount of time he's been doing it. 20 something years
yeah, bro. And
is
he and
that's a that's a
20 some years of rapping. Like he's rapping
yeah, man.
hard. And
Making great music.
And yeah, that's what, and that's what makes him so different with some of these guys that just rap. Like, not like I don't want to put him in this category, but it's like saying shit like I fuck with Jada Kiss at first, but then like after a while it's like, bro, like I don't know. It's just what pushes different, man, because what it is, it's the clever bars behind it.
Jada never had the consistent production that Pusha had.
Yeah, that's
But
true
when
too.
Jada got with Swiss,
Yeah,
when Jada was on, when they were on Bad
boy.
Boy,
Yep.
you know, those he was, those records are classic. Those records are timeless. You know, Jada never, Pusha he had Pharrell almost his whole career,
Hey man.
and then he had Pharrell and Kanye.
Yeah, and
And we're
then that's
talking about two of the best producers in the history of hip hop.
yeah, it's a fact.
Like, what are we? You know what I'm saying? So, but Jada's top tier rapper too.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You know
saying,
what I mean?
rapping. But in terms of maintaining that relevancy of just being a rapper and they know who you
Yeah,
are, like, yo, bro, it's like
Push,
every piece of work that Pusha T put out,
yeah,
fire.
Push had them guys with him though.
Yeah, nah,
He
that's
had
true
them guys.
too.
You know what I'm saying? He had them guys with him,
Yeah,
and
but
it's like,
it's crazy.
you look at like the height of Jada's career, and it was Bad Boy, and then Rough Riders,
Yeah,
and then after that, of course, he's not going to continue to be able to do that. He doesn't have, he didn't have those producers around him consistently sitting in the. When you can do a whole, it's a luxury to be able to sit down and do an entire album with Kanye West. It's a luxury to sit down and do an entire album with
with
Pharrell.
Pharrell. Yeah,
Imagine doing an entire album with Kanye and Pharrell.
yeah, that shit is
You know what I'm
different.
saying?
So
It's a luxury.
I definitely get your point on that.
It's a luxury.
It's like what piece of work do you have behind you? Like you got dudes that can put in work easy, like make you a beat
Mhm.
within a week, fire, and you're like
Yeah.
easy. Instead of a guy that you gotta hire and you gotta see if you and him match the same image you trying to paint in the record, and sometimes you
It's
just
like
gotta go
Nas
with
and
the
Hit Boy.
flow. Yeah,
It's like Nas and Hit Boy. Nas's last two albums were incredible. You know what I'm
I was
saying?
shocked too. I was like,
Incredible
yo,
albums.
Stu still got it,
Because the
bro.
production match the lyrics, match
Yeah, man,
lyricism and the artistry
chemistry,
just
bro.
together in unison. Whereas like Nas has been top tier lyricist his whole career,
Hmm.
but sometimes he gets with big time producers and you're like, yeah, I know this is a Timbaland beat, but this is terrible. I know this is a Swiss beat, but this is terrible. And it's better like when he's with Primo and these other, when he's on like with lesser known, it's almost like he gets with those producers trying to sound away.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Hit Boy was like, no, I'm gonna come into the studio sounding like what Nas sounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna try to sound like my production. I'm gonna sound like Nas.
Yeah.
And that's what a producer should be doing.
Exactly.
And when you do a whole project together with a guy that gets your sound, and pushes you, you get these albums that are amazing front to back.
Yeah, and that's one thing about Pusha's latest album, man. That shit was fire
Yeah,
from
for sure.
from start to finish and everything. So like now that
Mhm.
like and the things that to talk to him about, talking about him as a rapper and talk about lyrics and everything. Like I remember we talked about this before and talk about how lyricism is like getting a little bit bigger. And
Mhm.
I feel like lyricism has been something that struggled to hit mainstream. I feel like now, like you said before, that when we talked before this episode drop, it's like, yo, like you think it's reached that, and I want you to explain to the audience, like, do you think it will hit that popularity of where every single, or like not every single, but like almost half the artists is like straight are straight body have straight amount of bodies of work that are just
Yeah.
great lyrically and it's great music at the same time. You think it's reaching that
I
in today's
think
music?
that goes hand in hand with the hot versus talent.
Yeah,
Because you're gonna have guys that are talented in making music but aren't necessarily rappers, and then you're gonna have guys that are pure rappers but can't necessarily make a good song, and then you're gonna have guys that can kind of do both. And I think that today we have more respect and more awareness and lyricism than a while ago.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I look around and I look at some of these artists that maybe were popping around the age of like, we'll use guys like Rich the Kid, and those guys aren't. They're not to be seen. They're like, we don't know what the fuck they are right now.
yeah,
But you still got guys like Griselda, guys like like Push, guys like even OGs in the game like Nas and Hove.
yeah,
We got we still got Freddie Gibbs. We got guys like J. Cole and Kendrick still making quality music that's respected by mainstream. And these guys are selling tour tickets, selling records. Um, they're getting, praise on social media.
mm-hmm,
They have their audiences. They're getting mainstream success, making music that sometimes you would consider underground music.
yeah,
Um, of course, you're gonna have guys uh, like Travis Scott and Little Uzi and some of these other artists that make that kind of music, that isn't necessarily rapper lyric driven. Maybe guys like Dirk. Maybe you may say that, oh, Dirk is more of a melodic,
yeah.
you know what I'm
He
saying? And
definitely
Drake
has.
kind of falls in the middle, right?
Yeah,
But even when you are talking about Southern rappers, where it used to be the stigma like, oh, Southern rappers aren't lyricists. That's not true. You know,
man, you got a little
in my
baby.
opinion, Takeoff is one of the best rappers to come out of Atlanta. People talk about the Migos like they're mumble rappers, but Takeoff is nice,
Yeah,
like
I've heard him
nice to
freeze.
any standard of rapper, right? You got guys like 21 Savage, is nice. You know what I mean? He definitely stepped his rap game up,
Yeah,
his
definitely.
lyricism. Um, and you know, I think today there's a lot more emphasis on lyricism
Yeah,
than it's ever been before. You know, um, and I think that a lot of the respect that some of these rappers got from doing verses, like you see Jada and these guys, that people are like, oh shit, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like that's MCing. You know what I'm saying? That's not just rapping or lyricism. That's MCing. Um, and there's a difference in that shit. Um, Nobody's ever talking about the greatest of all time being a guy that didn't rap. You know, even if you ask guys today, like, oh, who's the best rapper ever? You ask somebody young, they might say Wayne, they might say Drake, they might say Kanye, but all those guys still rapped.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They all still rap. So I think lyricism today is, in fact, in the top, in the mainstream. There's a lot less filler, and I think even the guys you got guys like Big Sean, like Wale, that's here like right underneath
Yeah, bro.
the other guys. Those guys can spit.
Yeah, like you
You
said
know?
before, even Russ, Russ too,
Yeah, Russ is a beast. He's nice. ASAP Rocky, ASAP Ferg, them guys rap. You know what I mean? Um, I think that it's just like you got to be able to do the other shit too. You
Yeah.
got to get fly. You got to talk that slick talk. You got to make shit that girls can shake their ass to in the club. You got to, but you like to have a longevity career. You know, you got to be consistent with your music. Your music has to be saying something, even if you're not necessarily rapping. You could still have lyricism.
Yeah, man.
Guys like Travis Scott, guys like Kid Cudi, they're still writing shit with lyricism, even if they're not rapping it per se.
That's a fact. And one other artist too that we even talk about that I think is the perfect example of that. Fab. Fab is perfect with that, bro. He be in a pop song or R&B song, and it's like more hip hop R&B, and he dropping these fly ass lyrics. You're like, this motherfucker spitting on this beat. Like it's a beat you look at, you're like, you don't need to rap serious about it, but he's playful but also catchy and clever, and it's like, damn, bro, like that's real.
Got
that's
that
crazy.
Flow that like we used to say he sound like Mace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yo.
But they got that voice that they could rap on like these R&B records,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like smooth. You know what I'm saying?
OD smooth.
Yeah.
Biggie had that same thing too.
Ross. Yeah, Biggie, Ross, Rick Ross is another one. They got that.
Rick Ross. How forget about Boss Man?
Yeah, I feel like Nas even got that kind of voice. Like, he can kind of just like, you know what I mean? It's like butter. You know what I mean?
Yo, bro, it just goes with pretty much anything, bro. It's like, yo, he can just his flow can just get into so many different pockets, and it's like, dude, the thing is, it could be the same it could be the same way he's doing it, but it's just a different beat, and he's like, all right,
it's like classic. It's like a pair of white on white Air Force Ones.
Yeah,
should go whatever.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro. The Air Force One, you feel me? Air Force Ones. Air Force One. Yo, bro, like you just got people like that can just do strictly just everything.
They do them and they sound good on everything.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck, bro? Like, shit be crazy, bro.
They don't even gotta change nothing.
Yeah.
See, Drake could do anything on any record, but he got like 150 different flows.
Yeah.
He has 75 different accents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. You're gonna be on some shit rapping like a French.
Got a PhD.
Yeah, he was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, start rapping in French. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but
next thing you know, you're gonna have a yarmulke on in the video, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Well,
I know he's Jewish. I know he's Jewish, but now he's repping it even more. By the way, the yarmulke in the video.
They had him in the chair and they were holding him in the air. And shit.
Yeah. See, I forgot about that.
Whatever the fuck. But hell yeah, fucking right. That's what
I forgot. I forgot. Represent. I forgot.
He's on his Jew shit heavy.
Yeah.
That's another reason why a nigga can't fail, man.
Yo, bro, you got Jewish people behind you, bro. It's over, bro.
Fact.
They loyal to the core. To the core with you, bro.
Say anything about them, even if it's a compliment, they cancel you. Jay-Z said, you know how the Jews got all the money? They were like, oh, how dare you? What the fuck are you talking about? That's a compliment.
Yeah, that's a fact. Like, I'm just dressing how y'all do it.
They don't even want to be mentioned.
Yeah, it's just crazy how people could just do it. Like I remember when like Future was getting into that type of flow. Like Future was like in the club, and he'll do some R&B songs, and he'll like, cause he used to be more melodic, before he did that trap shit. When he was trap Future, it was different.
Styles, yeah.
It's
like the Future Hendrix. That was like the more melodic,
yeah.
And then he's more like
OD.
It was a Pluto, whatever the fuck his
Yeah, yo,
name is.
Pluto was the
Not
melodic album that I fucked with heavy. I was like,
yeah.
yo, this dude about to get crazy. This dude about to be the new, like, cause his voice was so distinctive and noticeable. It's like, yeah, this motherfucker sound like he on lean every day, but he's singing a little bit with a little raspiness. Yeah. So I fucked with it, and like, you know, he coming out with these albums and all that. But like, honestly, like you said, it's the same shit, but you fuck with it. And this album right here ain't it, bro.
He had 5 tracks that were fire, and then the rest of it was mid. And I gotta say, like, for all the hype that was coming like around the album, for as long as it took him to drop the album,
It flopped.
I was disappointed.
Yeah,
I was disappointed.
Flopped.
I expected more from, a top tier act like Future, but I also feel like, if we're being honest, it's better than a lot of other albums. I think that the expectations were high because it's Future.
Of course.
And people are looking at Future like, okay, you're top tier. Like, you position yourself next to Drake to do a project together, to do songs together consistently. So we're looking at you like, okay, you guys need to be on the exact same level, but you guys are up there.
Yeah.
And it felt like it wasn't. He's not up there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, maybe you're not that. Yeah, what you're trying to make it seem like you are.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Because like the first song in the album, I was like, oh, this album about to hit. All right, Future. Because the last projects, excluding the Drake project, like recently, was that album was fire. The Drake one, he did that, with Time to Be Alive. Then the next album, I was like, okay, it's cool. He got a couple songs on there. Then this one, he took a while to drop it. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I listened to the first song, I'm like,
you can only do the same shit so many times.
Yeah, you know what I'm hearing, and I'm like,
how many times you gonna do the same shit before it's watered down?
Same thing I say about the baby. How many times you gonna rap about the same shit over and over until you get watered down?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I said the same shit like, yo, come in here treating this shit like a hustle.
Yeah, bro.
And that's cool, whatever. But when you're trying to do that same formula over and over, after a while, it's watered down. That was the point that I was making before with 50 Cent. 50 Cent got Get Rich or Die Trying, classic. But then he tried to recreate that album every time he dropped an album. And after a while, it was watered down. Yeah. And it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he's got to step outside. And he stepped outside a little bit of his comfort zone. But it just, you gotta do more than what you're doing if you want us to talk about you in the light that you are trying to get us to talk about you. We want us to have you up there as a top tier guy. You're up there with guys like Travis Scott. You're up there with guys like Drake.
Yeah, they just make music.
And then you're putting shit out, and we're like, this shit is mid, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like, it was just the anticipation for it. Because me, I was like, all right, because it took me a while to get back into Future because melodic Future, Pluto Future was my guy. Yeah. Then when he did this trap shit, I was like, yeah, you sound more leaned out than ever now. I can't even understand you a little bit. But the beats are fire. You got a banging ass producer. But
yeah, but it's
that's just it. But that's the music you make. And then when he dropped the album with Drake, I was like, yeah, this shit is fire. I can't.
I expect more from Future because I know Future got a pen too on the low. Like, motherfuckers try to sleep on Future because he's not like spitting a 16. But he's saying some shit. He's one of them dudes that he's lyrical when he's writing that shit down. He's saying something if you're listening. But
kind of like 2 Chainz. Like people don't take 2 Chainz seriously.
2 Chainz raps.
No.
2 Chainz rapping. I compare Future more to like a trap version of Travis Scott.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? The musically, it's whatever, but he's writing some shit, and if you listen to it, it's kind of fire. But I don't know, man. I just feel like this album, I felt like he phoned it in. He had some shit on there that was crazy. Yeah. And then he was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to just, you can't let your star power, like, you still got to deliver. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that there's other artists that we're probably going to talk about their albums soon that they had a lot of hype around them, and they had a lot of this and a lot of that, and they didn't fucking deliver. In future, unfortunately, I don't give a fuck how many classics you put out, bro. They're gonna talk about your shit. The last shit you put out, they did it to everybody. They, you know, we did it to Jay or Z. We did it to fucking Jay-Z.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Kingdom Come came out. We were like,
you ain't,
know what I mean?
exactly.
They
like,
did it to fucking Nas. When Nas would drop some shit, we were like, this is ass. All right.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck about your classics in the past. If you put out some shit that's mid or trash, you know, you gotta follow through.
Yeah, bro. It's that fucking relevancy that you need to gain. Kind of like this artist, you know. A lot of anticipation for this Jack Harlow album because he dropped out that First Class. Everybody was like, "Hey, I've been throw up the," and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Yo, this album about to hit if it's like that."
Out and shit. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But listen, that album was garbage, and I know a lot of people are on them crazy. Oh, it's not that
mid.
bad.
To me, it ain't that bad. But go ahead.
It's TikTok music.
Okay.
It's like he made a soundtrack for kids to do this to on TikTok. Terrible. It's terrible.
Nah, man.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
He was in my face every time I opened my phone.
Oh, my God.
Every red carpet, they were forcing this motherfucker with his curly hair and his cute little smile. They were showing him flirt with this one and flirt with that one.
That's a fact.
He was introducing himself to Sweetie.
All the time.
And then he was over here with Little Nas X. And then he was hanging out with Drake in the Bahamas.
That's a fact.
And then he was hanging out with Drewski, the comedian with the short shorts.
You already know.
And he dropped this shit. And I'm like, oh, this is about to be fire. Right? Because all I see is Jack Harlow everywhere I look.
Yeah.
And what happened? The shit has 2 good songs on it.
The one with Drake.
And the 2 good songs that are on there, and we'll say 3 good songs. The 3 good songs that are on there are good not because of Jack Harlow. They're good because of the sample from Fergie, number 1.
Yeah, that song's hot.
Number 2, they're good. The second song is good because Drake went crazy.
Drake went off.
And number 3, the song is dope because Wayne went crazy.
Yeah.
Jack Harlow did not carry his own album.
That's a fact, though. Lyrically, I was like, yo, this guy's giving me, like, I don't know. Like the
all
vibe.
That push and all that
shit
that the label was doing and all that shit that social media was trying to say. He's the guy's the next guy. He went up to Funk Flex and spit a mid freestyle on Flex. It's a whole lot of mid rapping with bubblegum beats. Even my girl said, yo, turn this bubblegum bullshit off when we was in the car. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
that's
bro.
when you know it's bad.
Yeah, nah. It's definitely, for me, it's mid because, you know, even though I like Dua Lipa, the Dua Lipa, I think that's the one that they dropped. It was pretty good.
I'm gonna say this, right?
And Nail Tech too. I fuck with Nail Tech. I think Nail Tech was
Nail Tech was good. Nail Tech was a good song.
Yeah, that's a good song.
My opinion, Jack Harlow. They're trying to push Jack Harlow on us.
Yo, bro. Let's be honest. I was thinking that shit too. I know how media works. He's everywhere. I'm like, bro, it's like some Kevin Hart shit. It's like they just trying to push him.
Cool. Fine, but you gotta deliver.
Yeah, you get all
that
hype.
If you're not delivering the product, if you're not delivering the goods, I don't care how many times I see you, bro. I don't care, right? The way that they were pushing him, I'm gonna be honest. If Russ had the same push as Jack Harlow,
oh man,
Russ would be top tier right now.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Russ is independent, and he doesn't get that push. And he doesn't get all that shit. You don't have that same heat behind him. If Jack Harlow was as talented as Russ, right? Nobody will be talking about anything. They will just be like, yo, my man's going to be the next Drake. That's what they'll be saying.
Yeah, because he got like the... Yeah, because he definitely got the flow for it.
You just got to deliver. Even Cardi B. Cardi B was everybody's like, oh, she's on face every week. They're pushing it. And then she dropped the album. The album was incredible. Nobody can say nothing.
Yeah, the album's good.
You know what I'm saying? Like they had to, and listen, whatever. Like anytime the guy says anything that does anything, they're like, "Oh, look how beautiful his suit is." Yeah, it's a nice suit, but the album's garbage.
Oh my God, he has an infatuating smile.
Yeah, oh, he's such a cutie. Like, all right,
Yo, bro,
you know
but like
and
that.
you went out and got the Jack Harlow haircut, so I know
Oh, damn.
that he was on your fucking timeline every week. And you were like, "Yeah, this guy about to be the next one." And when you heard the album, I'm sure you were devastated because it's not.
Yo,
It
bro,
wasn't
man.
it.
Listen, man, I've been
Even the title of the album is great. You know what I'm saying? Come home, the kids miss you. I'm like, that's a great title. You know what I mean?
yo, bro,
Just,
you know, it was definitely mid and media.
I feel like he was rapping for Disney or some shit.
Yo, bro, that's the thing that got me pretty tight was like, I know you don't have like the most lyrical pen, but you got slick ass way and things that you got a smooth flow, you know? It's like, it's kind of different. And the fact that
I'm gonna be honest,
it's crazy. I was like, yo, you're not delivering on the bars though. It's like,
white rappers have been dropping the ball ever since Eminem stopped rapping.
Yo, remember Macklemore? He came with that one album, and where the fuck you at now, bro? I was like, yo, and now listen to the music he dropped before.
This is not a statement that I'm making like only for men. Remember Iggy Azalea?
Oh, bro,
Macklemore, Iggy Azalea. What she had to do with Machine Gun Kelly? Motherfucker makes rock music now.
Yeah, it's a fact.
I didn't even know he still made music. I didn't even know what was going on with him.
He
who
still
else?
does though.
Yellow Wolf.
Oh, bro,
he like graveyard somewhere. Bro, white rapper.
He flopped after Radioactive came out. Like that's it. He was done. That's it, bro. That motherfucker was done after.
And who else?
Because Eminem pushed him though. That's the thing. Eminem was pushing him. He was signed to him.
Yeah, but with G some shit. What was that?
G-Eazy, yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, one hit. G disappeared.
Yeah, one big hit, and it was over.
And that's the thing. It's like they get a push because it's like, oh, it's rap, but they're white. So like, we're gonna make some money off these guys because like, whatever. They're not super dangerous because they don't have a body like Gucci or the baby, but they rap. So we're gonna be taking some of this hip hop culture, but they're white, and it's like this shit is not good. It's not good. You know what I'm saying? And I was disappointed because I felt like his music was gonna be better.
Of course.
And less watered down and less like bullshit than some of the other shit that these guys have put out or try to do or come out before.
Nope.
What?
Shit was definitely this shit was definitely the same shit that I was, because I was shocked. I was like, damn, this shit's not that great. I'm not saying it's drop dead terrible, but it's not that good at all.
Yeah, but it didn't add up to like the amount of exposure he was getting, the amount of heat, the amount of like, you know what I'm saying? Because if you have more viral moments than you have good songs, it's just like
you just an image. You just an image they're
trying
to push. Yeah, you just an image that they're trying to push.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, how many times I saw him and Sweetie and him, flirting with her, and I was like, all right, whatever. Like, the white boy got some swag or whatever. But and then what? You know what I'm saying? Your music, you gotta deliver, bro. You gotta fucking deliver, or it doesn't translate. I don't give a fuck how much merch you drop, how, many fucking social media follows and likes and all this shit you got. If your music is not up to par, then it's like it's a fail.
Yeah, and the craziest part about it is like you're trying to gain that relevancy, even though you hot now. Like his definition of you hot right now, and you fucked up, so you better learn how to recuperate. Yeah, you need to know how to like just gather yourself and be like, I gotta drop a better piece after this, bro. Like I'm getting too much criticism. I gotta review the album probably again in my head. Like, let me listen to it. I'm like, I should have did better. I could have did better than that. Could have did way better on this album. Fuck it. So I'm gonna drop a better piece after that. And then when you come out and you do that, now you could gain that relevancy, kind of like like to me, Kendrick, right? Kendrick could drop piece after piece, right? He cannot do music like he did with this album. Not drop music for a whole like 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Bruno Mars shit, dead ass. Bruno Mars won't drop album for like 7 years. Come out with an album, every fucking song's a banger. You're like, bro, this guy's different. Same thing Kendrick did on this album, bro. This album's different, bro. Yeah. From top to bottom, fire.
The shit is that the kid Jack Harlow, he's charismatic, charming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he dresses well. He's a good-looking kid. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. That's the equivalent of having a point guard with all handle but can't score.
That's a fact.
All handle but don't pass.
Yo.
You got to have the fundamentals, bro.
Facts.
If you don't have the fundamentals, and the fundamentals in hip-hop music, if your music is mid, or your music is trash, or, or you're getting more attention and exposure for other shit out other than music before you're known for music, you might as well keep that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shit is, yeah, shit is crazy though. But like onto like our last segment, which would be the Kendrick album, because I definitely want to talk about this one. Like I think this one was we touched on it a little bit, but top to bottom, bro, like even the first song, I gave it a couple of listens because it was kind of, that's the thing, it was a different sound to him. I was like, yo, this guy has to do that, and that's always my method. I listen to an album 3 times before I even give my actual review on it, because I have to dissect the fact that, okay, if you're different, I'm used to a certain flow, I got to get used to this flow and say, all right, can my ears adjust to that? And this guy, he took what we said before too. You know how songs are having like 2 songs in one? It seemed like that he going from one beat, then the beat drops and does another beat, and he's just going on that flow. I'm like, yo, this guy is just going off. And the personality that he really brought seemed like this is his true self. And he's revealing that to us. Like, yo, this is who I really am. Like, this is who I really am. All that shit was about me in the gutter, about Compton, the life and everything, about being a good kid in Mass City, being a smart dude, and Pimp Butterfly, same thing. Still talked about that in a great way also. Now, with Damn, he talks about, how, like, even interviews, like, yo, this is an album I can make hits on. And I want to show you that I can be an artist too. And then this one is like, bro, this is everything in one. Like N95, that's a banger. Yeah. That song is going to hit everywhere you go, bro. Anywhere you at.
I think that people always going to talk about your last project like that's all you're about, right? And I'm guilty of that, and I even expressed that here. I'm saying like, okay, well, I mean, yeah, Future's this is that, but that last album, it was mid. Kendrick listens to the criticism. And the last album with Damn, he was like, no, I'm going to show you I can do this. Because I think with To Pimp a Butterfly that there's no real music on here. There's no replay value. But he was trying to deliver a message there.
That's a fact.
And then people were criticizing. So he gave you Damn. And he said, no, motherfucker, y'all niggas going to recognize because I still do this. I can still deliver this type of shit. Mm-hmm. I can still give you hits and top tier lyricism and top tier quality production altogether. But with this album, I think he took Damn, he took To Pimp a Butterfly, and he gave it this fusion while also giving a level of vulnerability that he never really gave before.
Yeah.
Like he let us see into what was going on with him personally, as opposed to, his social commentary. He gave us his 444.
Yeah.
And that's, without 444, there's no space for other artists to do that. But now he's, Hove does that, and he could, I could take it a step further and give you this. And give you my vulnerability, what I'm going through. When we spoke about it earlier, he essentially gave space for the culture, hip-hop culture, to grow. Because in order to grow, you got to heal, right? And in order to heal, you got to expose what it is that is wounded you to begin with. Yeah. Hip-hop culture is a culture built on trauma. And And because of that, we have a lot of toxic ways of expressing ourselves in this culture.
Yeah.
Whether it be like, saying, "Oh, fuck bitches get money," or women saying, "Oh, yeah, if you ain't buying me a Birkin, we ain't fucking with you," or you know, saying like, "Oh, well, uh, you not tough, or you not this, or you not that," or
That's a
you
fact.
know, you say that you got to prove it, and you got to, or let me buy 100 chains and a bust down watch and devalue this Rolex because I want to ice it out, and that shit comes from a mentality that people don't understand comes from past traumas that is generation. And in order for us to heal from that, we're all guilty from that shit because we're all a part of this culture.
That's a
Been
fact.
through certain shit, but him exposing that and being the person that he is, being the level of artist that he is, creates a space for a lot of these other artists to decide to go, you know what? It's okay to go to therapy, speak about therapy, expose this shit, admit that I was wrong about that shit. You know what I mean? Talk about this stuff that I never talked about before. Admit that I'm embarrassed about this. Talk about my missteps, and it creates a space where it's okay for that to happen. It's a big step for him to do that, and I think it creates a lot of healing for the hip hop culture today. But he also made it more palatable and easier to digest than To Pimp a Butterfly's music,
Yeah.
where you can go back and listen to it multiple times, and it's still that art piece that To Pimp a Butterfly was, but it's more listenable than To Pimp a Butterfly. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely, because it's definitely the replay value of the songs now. When I listen to Pimp a Butterfly, I listen to it because of the message behind it. Like when I listen to Mortal
Right.
Man on that song, I think that's one of the best
Mhm.
songs on his album, best songs in his catalog, because he was really like talking
Yeah.
about everything that like I was like, yo, like I'm not immortal. I'm a mortal man. Like don't
Mhm,
think
mhm.
I'm this dude that's unstoppable. I got my vulnerabilities. I got what
Exactly.
came from the streets. I've seen shit that make me feel like I don't really got it like that. And then the fact
Mhm.
that he established that he has a family, I got kids, I got all this shit. I'm learning how to be a father. I'm learning how to be there for more of my, it's like those things that we don't talk about. He has that platform to make that better, like you said, for other artists to open up to. Like, yo, bro, let's change our message and what we want to do with
Mhm.
music. Let's
Mhm.
be popping still, but let's buckle down for a minute. And as artists, for women and men, that's for, not just for men. Like, be vulnerable. Like, let
Yeah.
that through your music. Like, that's one of the things I loved about Eminem, though. I love that he's a vulnerable ass dude and he does it in an
Yeah.
aggressive way, but he can buckle down and give you a message in a song that's like, I talk about my daughter, talk about how I'm not there and how I feel about that, and delivers a great message, and it pops. So it's like you
Yeah.
look at all these dudes. It's like I feel like that's what got me more with Kendrick's album. Like it's his 44. It's his it's his way of expressing like the Eminem show, like shit like that. Like he's addressing, like it's like a personal album that I need to show people that I can write body of work about myself, about what my life is right now, currently,
Yeah.
and make it popular. J. Cole did the same thing with KOD, talking about, he's fighting his demons and having that relate to everybody else. For Your Eyes Only
Mhm.
talks about his
Mhm.
son. Like you keep your relevancy going, and when you create different bodies of work, that opens up for other artists. I think that's what a lot of dudes need to do a little bit more. Like that's what I like about, even though I don't listen to his music as much, but when I do listen to it, it's cool. Like the fact that he's a southern rapper like Lil Baby. Like there's certain songs I listen to, I'm like, yo, this guy is really like trying to change how southern rappers are looking at now. A lot of them are like, oh, they just club guys, or they rap a little fast, or you can't really understand them. But it's like you look at a dude like Young Thug.
Yeah, they say this shit.
Yeah, exactly. You could do like Young Thug, you may not understand, but you look at the body of work and music that he does, and you listen to him, and you actually look at the lyrics, it's like, oh, okay, this guy's
Yeah.
really
It-
saying something, and that's the only thing that can stray away from that. So I think with Kendrick is like he's changing the path of what other
yeah.
artists can do. Like if you do it early, it may be better for your fans to know, or you could strategically do it along your way. Pop first, and then drop this album, and realize that I'm trying to establish myself as a top 10 artist of all time. I think everybody should strive
Mhm.
for that. And I think that's what Kendrick is doing. But
think the important thing that this album showed us is that even though hip hop, for as long as it's been created, has been about ego. You know, it's been very ego driven.
Yeah, that
I think
especially the
that when
'90s.
albums, yeah, like what albums like like Kendrick's album and Hove's last album, we're seeing albums that are talking more about the death of the ego, you know, and that's something that's essential for us
Yeah,
to grow because we're growing with hip hop. Hip hop is young,
of
but
course.
as we become men that grew up in hip hop culture, we we can't have the same mentality. So the music's got to grow with the culture.
Yeah,
And yeah, there's always gonna be music from from the younger guys that are gonna be making that type of shit because that's what they're going through in their point in life. But I don't want to hear Little Dirk in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that he's gonna sound. Not saying he's gonna be rapping like Jay or Kendrick, but he's gonna be talking about things in a different way, right? And guys like Kendrick and guys like Hove and guys like Nas, and Kendrick's from the younger generation, so Nas and Jay were doing it first,
yeah.
and talking about more grown man things,
Mm-hmm.
talking about more realizations as men, being vulnerable and being honest in their music, and now Kendrick's doing the same thing. And I think that it's important that we can make music that don't got nothing to do with ego, you know, because that's how you grow as a human, and that's how you help your culture grow. You know what I mean? At a certain level, your ego is hindering you more than it's helping you.
Yeah, man.
And I think that that's the level that he's at with it, and I think that it was important. And you know what? I still bump all that other hood shit.
Of
I
course.
like that street shit. I like that ignorant shit. I like, what I'm saying, because I'm also from that environment. But I understand that as a man, and I'm in my 30s, I want growth as well. So it's a balance, and I think that uh that's how hip hop is in real life, like in the landscape of the people it touches. You have people who are going through this, you have people who are going through that, and
Yeah.
the music reflects that. There's a little bit of everything for everybody, and it's important that he brought this new element to it.
Yeah, most definitely. And I really hope a lot of other artists really like go from there and go, yo, listen to this shit really touch me. You know what? One of these days, I'm gonna create a piece just like that. And then like,
Yeah,
that just opens up like more doors for people to be like,
yeah,
you know what? Let me not like let me make a song that or drop a single like that
hmm
teases how your album is gonna be. And it's like, yo, this dude's about to hit personally. And
You
then
know,
and then,
you
and
know
then
what
when
I
it
want
hits,
to
it
say
hits.
too? Yeah, what I want to say too that I gotta give credit to. I gotta give credit to Kanye. It's Kanye's album, Donda. Every guest feature he had on there had a verse that was vulnerable. Dirk's verse was vulnerable. Conway's verse was vulnerable. Favi's verse was vulnerable. The baby's verse was vulnerable. And I feel like that's important because, hip hop is maturing. So some of the people listening to it and some of the people are also maturing.
Yeah.
And these artists are giving you different layers to who they are. And I think Kanye also created a space on his album for those artists to do that. So that was a big deal, you know. And I think I'm excited to see that become more of the norm moving forward.
Yeah. I think it will be. But overall, Kendrick album is gonna win a Grammy for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
The only issue I have with Kendrick is that his dreads look dirty and they look like they stink. But other than that, I fuck with the album. It was great.
Well, to get really judged, you don't have to wash your hair for a while. Then you have to let it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I get it. You go, oh, y'all getting vulnerable with you, Hove, and J. Cole with your dirty, stinky dreads. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't just be vulnerable and grown men without dirty hair.
Hey man.
You know what I mean? Yo, listen, man, great album. No, but honestly, on all actuality, no seriousness, great album, much needed.
Yeah, much needed for real, man. And this closes our last segment, but there is one thing we do got to talk about. And I talked to Izzy about this, and I definitely want to address this, man. So recently in the news, man, and just before we can get into this, shout out to everybody that's here. Shout out to everybody that's gonna be listening to it a little bit later. Spread it around, spread the rumors, man. We definitely gonna be doing more and stuff like this. There's gonna be a part 2. We got more questions we gonna address more, man. There's gonna be another episode. Exactly, we're gonna be back for this shit, bro. And Izzy's gonna be definitely a more of a likable and also more frequent guest. Because
talking my shit.
Yeah, talking shit, man. So
I think y'all me talking about you don't like me.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the craziest part, man. We ill minds, bro. It's a different feeling. Different feeling when you ill out here. But I gotta appreciate everybody that was liking the post and everything. I'm gonna keep going at it, man. It's just a grind from here. And this closes our music episode, man. But you stick around. We got one more thing to talk about. We at the 2-hour mark, but this is one thing I want to address because it's been on my mind lately because of the recent news that we've been hearing about the shooting in Buffalo and then in Texas. And now we're hearing about other things about people finding guns in certain schools. So one thing I got to say, the fact that we are the United States and we have 13 to 20 times more shootings in recent years than any other country in this world. We're at over 200. I don't think any other country has even crossed 15, bro, in the past years. And I remember one year we had 200 something shootings. So if I accumulate all of it, we probably have had over as many as 500 shootings throughout the past 20 years, maybe 1,000. I don't even know, bro, how many has been going around, man. This shit gotta stop, bro. This thing gotta stop. This is the fear I have behind it is that once it's like a monkey see, monkey do moment. It's like you see one person do it, and with social media and how easily it's influencing these young kids to do the same thing because they feel relatable to the situation. They have to do the same thing, and then sometimes they take it a step further. This kid in Buffalo, 19 years old, wrote a manifesto about how white people are literally being devalued or they're losing their power, and he had to do something about it. That's crazy. I saw the video. He was shooting them in cold blood, talking on the ground, vulnerable, on the ground, bopping them like it was there was no thought behind it. Then this kid saying he was bullied or whatever in Texas goes up and shoots up a school and shoots up young kids and a teacher. And I heard he shot his grandmother too or something. And I'm like, yo, dude, this is crazy. And then I find it out in California they found a gun under a second grader's desk or something. Then in Brooklyn today, I heard that they found a gun around the area. I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on, bro? I really don't understand how we have these senators and how we have people that the fact that we have to do something now is sad. We should have done this the first time it did it. I remember, I think it was Australia when they had their shooting around 1980s or 90s, that massive shooting. Shooting I don't think they had a mass shooting in years, 22 decades or something. I mean, 2 decades full of no mass shooting, bro. They done something about it. Take away the gun. Stop with this license. Stop with this license to carry, and they're easily accessible in a Walmart. What are we doing here? What are we really doing here? It sucks. If I was a person, I didn't have family here. Say I'm just a regular person on this earth. God put me on this earth, and I have no family, no nothing. If I look at the value of what this country has, bro, I would move. That's how disgusting it is to live in this country. But the fact that we got family and this freedom of speech and all these rights we have, cool. But we don't abide by that. We don't value each other. We kill each other more than what other countries do to their own people. It's just crazy. You got Russia doing all this shit. But I've never seen Russia have a mass shooting. I've never seen a third world country that are way more poor than us go, I'm going to go kill my own people. I'm going to kill 20 innocent people.
They don't even do it in the UK.
Yeah, it just boggles my mind.
Doesn't happen. This shit don't happen.
It doesn't. And the thing is the accessibility. Take away the accessibility. Background checks. Go through a multitude of tests before you even get that license to carry. Why do you think it's so hard to get a gun in New York legally? Why can't we do that in other states? Why do other people feel as if, oh, I need to carry a gun, I don't need all these restrictions behind me applying to get a weapon? Like what are we doing, man? Like, what are we doing for real? But go ahead.
Unfortunately, the senators and the people in our government are more concerned with power and appeasing their voters of their particular party or whoever supports them than protecting American citizens. Unfortunately, you can't do the normal things um, that we're supposed to have the freedom to do because it is more important for some people to have the right to bear arms than it is to have the right to go grocery shopping, the right to go to church, or the right to have my child go to school. And the reason for that is it's marketed as, oh, these people are taking your rights when we start talking about gun laws. But we're not taking your right to carry. We're just saying that some people should not have guns. And there's also an accountability that needs to take place here. Because sometimes these people don't have guns. They didn't get a gun themselves, and there's guns in the house, and they got their parents' gun, and they went and they did whatever they did. In those cases, your family should be held accountable. If you're a person without a gun, and if your child takes a gun from you and commits a crime, you should also be held accountable. If you have an automatic weapon in your home, that should be illegal. There's no reason for people to have machine guns and things like that. That's the second thing. The third thing is if you have a mental illness, if you have a violent past, you should not have. Listen, I have a felony, right? I cannot own a gun. I am okay with that. I understand that. Legally, I cannot carry it. That is what it is. I live in New York, very strict here, and that's just what I have to deal with. I don't feel like my rights are being taken. You know what I mean? It's just a simple thing that people need to understand. You should be able to send your child to school. You should be able to go grocery shopping. You should be able to go to church. You should be able to go to the mall and not worry about somebody coming in with a mental illness or a heart full of hate and murdering you and a bunch of other innocent people while you're just trying to live your life. Do the regular shit in a regular day that we do here. We're supposed to be able to do here in this free country of America, right? So I believe the same way that these people bring this RICO law down on people's heads, and everybody's accountable when it comes to that, whether you're just on the phone talking about shit, they scoop you up with a conspiracy. If you are a gun owner and you do not keep your gun secure, and somebody in your home takes a gun and commits a crime like this, you should be held accountable and given prison time. You should not be able to have a gun if you have a mental illness or a violent past. It be given multiple tests, right? They be doing multiple background checks, whether it be your social media, whether it be because a lot of times these people they're members of certain groups, whether it be hate groups or militias or whatever, and they want to get these guns. That should also be investigated.
Yep.
If somebody is making threats and the family of the kid that's in school is notified and they don't do anything about it, if somebody notifies the school and the faculty in the school doesn't do anything about it, they should also be held accountable because nobody's going to change their behavior until some accountability and real laws are being passed. Because the RICO was created to get rid of the mafia. The mafia is not making noise like they used to because now they don't want to go to jail for the rest of their life. They don't even want to be affiliated with that shit in public, right? That's the type of iron fist that we need in these situations. You know what I mean? And honestly, I don't see a solution outside of that.
Yeah, it's what makes it tough to me is people really think that, like, the only thing that I can really support with holding a gun is if you live in a body of land and you're near nothing, where you're in a town where it's like 500 people, you got a large acres of land and you got to defend it. You know, people gonna come in, and if you by
I
yourself,
understand if you have a gun in your home, you have a license to carry, you want to
that's a
protect yourself.
fact. But when you
Right? I don't feel
have,
like it should only be for you to have a large, acres of land, because people do home invasions all the time.
yeah,
You should have it in a secure place.
exactly, where it's not
You should have your
accessible.
gun, and if you hunt, put your guns in a secure place.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are a person that has a mental illness, if you are a person that has a violent history and violent crimes, if you're a person that is a member of certain groups publicly, right, that believe in certain things,
Mm-hmm.
we know what those groups are, right? Whether it be racist or sexist or homophobic, and you are members of these groups, you should not be able to own guns, right?
Nothing like that.
If we can find a person in a cave across the world, we can figure out who the fuck should have a gun in this country and not,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, we have a right to defend ourselves. Yeah, we have a right to protect our homes, to protect our families. But certain things should negate that,
Should.
right? And again, it's about accountability. It's about lawmaking. It's about legislation being passed. It's about the pressure being put on these senators, on the president, on anybody in government. It should be pressure put on these people.
Yeah.
There's no reason that we should be talking about, oh, they want to take women's abortions rights. Why the fuck are you? Why are you talking about that? Why are you even doing that?
Yeah.
You can't be pro-life and pro-freedom for everybody to get guns. That's contradictory.
It's a good
Right?
point.
You can't sit there and tell a woman, or you can't have an abortion,
It's a great point.
but this person can buy as many guns as they want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you that, listen, if you guys are saying an abortion is a murder, what the fuck is this thing that happened in Texas? Like, what are we talking about? You guys, is it contradictory? It doesn't make sense. It's an oxymoron. And at the end of the day, as human beings, we should be more logical and smarter than that. We should be able to call the bullshit when it's bullshit. I'm not any one side. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm somebody that if this looks stupid or that looks stupid or that makes sense or this makes sense, then that's what the fuck I'm going with, and that's what I'm going to say. And everybody else over here saying, oh, well, I'm this because I'm conservative. And, you're a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm this because I'm liberal. No, you're a fucking idiot. You're a jackass. Because nobody should be okay with elementary schools kids being murdered. Nobody should be okay with that. That's not okay anywhere in the country. Anybody with a conscience, anybody with a logical mind should not be okay with that.
Yeah, man.
So you're okay with telling a woman she can't get an abortion, but you're not okay with saying this person shouldn't be able to buy guns, or that person shouldn't have that many guns in their home unlocked, or schools should be able to do this. And if somebody gets notified that a person is making threats or because listen, at the end of the day, there's a lot of times where the parents are being warned as well. We need to be locking some parents up, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know about all these motherfuckers out here today, but my mother knew when I was doing some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? If the school called my mother, like, oh, he cut school today, my mother said, oh, you cut school today? Imagine if the school called and was like, oh, listen, he made a threat and said he's going to come in here and shoot. Well, they were like, what? Huh? What? You know what I'm saying? Some of these parents are like, I don't know, they got their heads up their asses, their guns are not locked up, and this, that, and the third. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Something's got to give, and both sides of the political parties have to come together on this. Because these senators are not going to say, yeah, we're going to vote for that, unless the people in their own party say that's what we want. We're tired of it. The conservatives have to say it. The liberals have to say it. And that way everybody's on the same page. And there's really no reason for anybody to say the opposite.
And it's just crazy, man. How we put these people in power and they think the opposite of lives being hurt, being taken
For them, it's
away.
about power. It's
I
about power.
know, and that's the
We have to
craziest
take the
shit.
power away from them by saying, "Nah, you gotta vote this way, or we getting you the fuck up out of it."
That's the shit. And it's funny how we say power to the people, which is the mass, but it's only a small that it's literally like a freaking 0.001% of these individuals that's dictating millions of lives. And we let that shit go. And that's the shit that bothers me. It's like you see from the it's funny how you look at the first one and you don't go, we gotta do something. Nah, fuck this. Second one, third one, it's 200. 200. Like, bruh, you don't see that? COVID happened instantly within a year. Vaccine.
It's harder to get illegal guns than it is to get legal guns.
Yo, it's crazy. In a Walmart, they have
You know
it
what I'm
stashed
saying?
right there, and you could just buy it. In certain
A
states, you
person
don't
in
even need it.
Yeah, a person in New York can travel down south and get guns easier than buying an illegal gun in New York.
Bro, it's just crazy, bro.
That doesn't make any sense.
Even crossing it through. So it's like, you look at all this, and you still don't make that decision? Having Columbine? Come on now. The Vegas shooting with dude machine gunned all the way down. Like you didn't like, okay, we gotta do something, bro.
And this last one was specifically disgusting because they were elementary school kids.
And then the
Like,
Buffalo one, he
little-
recorded like it was a first person shooter.
And this is what I'm saying. Like these people, there's people who are mentally ill. There's people who have their hearts full of hate. There's people who have violent histories. And I don't think that it's even an argument for anybody who's logical to say, you know what, maybe those groups of people shouldn't be able to buy guns. Maybe they shouldn't be able to get their hands on guns that easy. You know what I mean? And I think that, like, what is it that we're talking about here? Nobody's trying to stop you from hunting, but do you need an automatic rifle to shoot some deer? No, you're not gonna. You know what I mean? You're not using that for fucking
Yeah,
hunting.
man. Like,
You need, your schizophrenic or your friend that's in the KKK to pull up and fucking put able to buy a gun. No, you guys know you guys shouldn't be able to do that. And anybody who's opposed to that is because they got some shit going on with them.
and the main thing that I want to say, and I think this is something that should happen too. Same thing, but there should be more to it. You know how you renew your driver's license, you renew your passport, all this other shit. When you gotta renew your gun license, they have to psychoanalyze you again to see how you've been throughout these years with carrying that. Or if anything has been emotionally damaging you and you feel as if, and it's not even about, okay, it's about other lives, but it's about your own life too. If it's easy for you to grab it and shoot yourself, it's easy for you to grab and shoot somebody else. So it's like, you're taking a life or you take your own life. So now it's like, we should restrict that from anybody regardless. And they're asking, hey, dude, do you have it locked away? You should be, I'm sorry, it's come to the point, they should be like, if you do this, you're giving consent for a legal investigator to go into your home to see if you have a compartment or something that's away from children, especially if you have children or from anybody to easily access it. Do you have a code? Do you have a specific code that we give you? A certain, if they're gonna do it, give us a certain lock that's specifically made by this They should go to a program too, but it's like a specific lock or something that they give you. There's a code in this. This is the only code for you. We give this to you. We register this to you, and we have to check on it almost every 2 years or so, and like see if you still got it. See if you need a new code. Blah 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 blah. That's it. If you go through that and you clean and you good, then you have license to carry. That's all it is. It ain't that hard. Follow the guidelines. If cops have to get the license to carry, right? And they have to do all this other shit. There's so much shit cops have to do in order for them. If they leave their gun in a certain place, if they leave it out here, they get ridiculed. They get vacation days taken away. They get shit taken away from them. What about people that literally can just buy a gun off the street or off the market?
It's about accountability.
And they have no accountability for it. That's what I'm saying. Where's the accountability?
People doing the shootings be accountable. Not only should, there's certain laws and legislation that should be passed, The vendors should be held accountable if they found out that you didn't follow procedure and you sold these guns to people. If your parents were notified and they didn't do anything about it, and this person went into the shooting, but the school was notified and they didn't do anything about it, and there was a shooting, certain people should be held accountable and should be serving prison time. And it should be across the board. The same way the feds run down on you with the RICO and conspiracy charges is the same way they need to be implementing these gun laws and legislations that need to be passed like yesterday.
Yeah, you're definitely right, man. And like that's just shit just gotta change. And it starts from us.
The family. My condolences, my prayers for all the families, all the ones that have lost loved ones. And I just hope and pray that we get it right in this country. We do something about it, and make sure that this is not a new, terrifying trend going on.
That's a fact, for real. And like it's just it is what we have to do and what we're gonna do. We got to put something into action. That's what it is. But this concludes episode 6 of the Ill Minds podcast, man. I really had a great time. I'm glad that we got this episode out. It's a banger. Yeah, a lot of shit going on. We're gonna be dropping a part 2 about the hip hop music industry and everything. And just gotta say, man, like a lot of shit is gonna be happening in the future. Definitely gonna have more content out. I'm definitely thinking about other things. And like I said before, man, I got a different guest on. You can be that guest. You could be right here on this panel, and we talking shit, man. It's a comfortability, man. It's what it is. I bring you here. We do our thing, man. And I always want people to feel as if they're always welcome. This is the point of this podcast. Like I always say, it's a show for everybody and anybody, and we talk about anything. We're just regular people doing regular things, talking about shit that means well to others, shit that we like to talk about, laugh about, argue about. Yeah. It is what it is, man. This is the table to do it, man. And I appreciate Izzy for being on, man. He's gonna be a regular always, man. And he did it once. He's gonna do it again, man. So this is what we're gonna talk about, man.
Tune in,
bro. This is what it is, man.
Having me on, man.
Yeah, appreciate man. It. Yeah, man. Yo, so close this out, man. You already know the slogan, man. It's the Ill Minds podcast, man. If you ain't ill, you ain't real, baby. All right, man. We out. Peace, baby.
Peace.